All right. I was gonna do a video on this subject, but the subject is so big that it would probably be better discussed live. You see what I'm saying? Because Oscar basically said, let me pull up what he said. Let me pull up what he said. Well, first let me let this joint populate because I see ain't even nobody on here yet. So I'm gonna let this joint populate real quick. All right, what's goody George? What's goody Melvin? What's goody Gatsby? What's goody Tyrone? You know what I'm saying? What's goody Rob? What's goody Esperanza? What's popping? Um Oscar De La Hoya said, it's an effing embarrassment that sports star fans are flocking to baseball and the UFC and largely ignoring the greatest sport in the world. I have been working tirelessly day and night with our partners at the Zone to get Canelo a fight done ASAP and get our sport back on track. I'm gonna let you in on this, Punch, because I know you gonna have some insights on this. You see, Oscar De La Hoya basically trying to say that, oh, why is people watching other sports instead of watching boxing? And it's because, well, boxing has a lot of problems. Boxing has a lot of problems that hurt it as a mainstream sport. It can't be a mainstream sport until they fix them problems. And boxing has a lot of problems. You see what I'm saying? One of the main problems that boxing has, and we talk about it all the time, is that it's too many belts. Like, I don't care about the major four, the WBA, the WBC, the WBO, and the IBF. It's the little ones that cause problems. It's the little ones. Like, you got Brandon Figueroa. Brandon Figueroa got a belt. They recognize him as a champion of some kind, right? But he didn't fight MJ Akhmadaliev. MJ got the belt that he got, the WBA title. He got it from the champion. He got it from Daniel Roman. MJ is the full champion at that weight. All right, what's popping, Dan? But check, I was good,
Hey,
Dan.
what's up, man? How you
Yeah,
doing, brother?
chilling. I just wanted to have a conversation on this because when it comes to this particular subject, it's more than you could fit in a 17-minute video. Oscar basically wondering why is people gravitating towards other sports instead of gravitating towards boxing. And if you want the real answer, it's because, well, it's a lot of people that's doing a lot of dumb shit that hurts the sport. It's too many little belts. It's too many little baby belts. The WBA has four different belts. Four. Just the WBA. They got the super, they got the world, they got the interim, and they got the gold. And when you make it confusing for somebody, like it's already confusing because it's four major titles. It's already confusing. But if you add another four to that, it's even more confusing. And you try explaining that to somebody, they're like, well, look, that's not the real champion. That's the interim champion. The real champion. It's like, bro, they ain't even gonna pay attention. They
Uh,
make it, they watering it down.
Man, it's a whole entire rabbit hole because check this out. I mean, obviously, and we know that, and then to top it off, you got people like Al Heyman and the PBC who don't want to work with other entities, promotional entities, and to get fights done, and they
That's
should
true.
be doing that. And then you got like, look what happened with Dillian White. Okay, ignore the fact that he got knocked out for a moment. It doesn't matter whether he got knocked out now. He never should have had to wait that long to get a shot at the title and get a fight with somebody
That's
for the
true.
title.
That's
He should
true.
have been had that fight, and they just delayed it, and every excuse in the world. And shame on some of the boxers. Even I do like Tyson Fury, but I've lost a lot of respect for him because he avoided White like the plague, man. And I mean, it's like, come on, he jumped on board with the promoters, and then he's saying all this like ridiculous garbage. It's like, man, just fight the man, get
That's
it over with. If you
that
could beat him, get it over with.
that's the thing. It's like it's a game that's being played, and the fans is falling for it to where they acting like, oh, fans don't want to see that fight. Get out of here, bro. If you told the people in the United Kingdom that you're gonna stage Tyson Fury versus Dillian White at the O2, it's gonna sell out, bro. Don't tell me that the fans they don't want to see that. That's a goddamn lie. They will show up for that. If they showed up to see Dillian White versus Joseph Parker, or Dillian White versus Derek Chisora 2, or Dillian White versus Oscar Rivas, why wouldn't they show up to see him fight Tyson Fury?
Right, and they're dragging stuff out way too long, and that's why people like you and me, and hey, Mark, how you doing? And Mark and other people are gravitating more towards women's boxing because they're, like you said, I'll coin your phrase, Julius. They're taking chances and they're actually fighting each other.
Yep.
Whereas in the men's boxing, they're dragging everything out and delaying this and delaying that. It's like, come on, man. It's killing the sport. That's why the casuals don't mind it so much, but the more hardcore fans are really getting ticked off with that. And that's why
I want to add to your point, Dan, because you made a very valid point just now that most people don't realize. If you look at the sport of women's boxing, right, there ain't no WBA gold. There ain't no literally, there ain't no WBA gold, bro. All that proliferation of belts that you see in the men's boxing, it's not there in women's boxing. If you got the WBA, you got the WBA. You might have an interim champion, which I was never against. I've never been against an interim champion because I understand the function of it. So I get that. But that proliferation of, the WBC diamond, the WBC silver, bruh.
See, women's boxing is like how men's boxing used to be. They have one set of titles, and everybody's willing to fight each other to get to it. The men's boxing has turned into something completely different from what it used to be, and it's showing.
Yep,
that's the bad result. It's showing. I mean, you can't put it no other way.
I want to let Mark in on this. All right, Mark, you heard what Oscar said, right?
No.
Oscar said that it's a damn shame that people are gravitating towards other sports, but they're not gravitating towards the greatest sport in the world, which is boxing. Now,
he's right.
He's right. They're not. What do you feel is a big part of that problem? Why is that happening?
Well, I think Oscar's a part of the problem. And Canelo's a part of the problem. I think every A-side in boxing is a part of the problem. I think every promoter is a part of the problem. I think the pussyfooted fans are a part of the problem, who protect one side or push another side. I think you can't really be a fan of boxing without being kind of mentally retarded at this stage.
Yes, true.
I'm not even trying to be funny. I think I'm retarded for enjoying the sport the way I do. I like violence and stuff, right? But how do I explain this without coming across too bad? Okay, y'all know Keeping Up with the Kardashians, right?
Yeah.
That is boxing.
Mark, you're crazy, Mark.
I'm not joking, though. It is.
You ain't joking, but you made us all laugh.
Nah, but in a way, yeah, it is.
It reminds me of when I was a kid, right? My favorite show when I was a kid, right? I'm gonna sound so fucking young once I say this. When I was a kid, I used to watch Pokemon all the time, right? All the time. And I'd be like, what will happen next with the heroes? Find out next time on. And then it'd be like, to be continued on. That's what boxing is every day.
Nah, you mean boxing is like Dragon Ball Z? Like, will they defeat Frieza in time? Found out next time.
No. Hold on. I want to get everybody in on this. In on this. So I'm gonna pass it over to Punch. Punch, you heard what Oscar said. Yeah. What do you think is hurting the sport of boxing and making people look at other sports instead of watching boxing?
Well, I'm gonna piggyback on what Mark said. I think it's promoters. I think promoters have turned into full-blown investors. They forgot to promote. I mean, it's one thing of promoting the fighter, but they forgot to promote the fighters. They just promote barely the event. I remember I could be walking in the deli and I'll see a bunch of posters of even B-level fighters. I'm talking about ESPN Deportes type of
Yeah,
fights that it was all over the place. You saw billboards, everything. Everybody was talking about boxing. Everybody knew the B-level fighters, C-level fighters. Like, people don't even know A-level fighters nowadays. And I think it
that's
has to
true.
do with the dinosaur, business approach when it comes to promoting. There's no more promoters. There's just a bunch of investors. I believe Eddie Hearn, he does a quality job in staying out there, doing a bunch of podcasts. You know, Eddie Hearn, he's always out there for like 24/7. Wake up in the morning, he's doing a podcast. He's doing something.
That's
But these
true.
other guys, and let me give you last example. I was saying this on my live show because I was talking about women boxing. Look at Floyd Mayweather, look at Oscar De La Hoya's, and look at their social media platform. And how many times do you see them post about any of their fighters, any other of their stables? Nothing.
That's true.
It's, you know.
True. No, no, that's true. To me, it's like they get the budget from the network affiliate, or they get the budget from the platform, and it's like they're expecting the platform to do the legwork. Like, no, bro, you have to promote. You got to come up with ideas. You got to come up with angles. Like I always said, Danny Jacobs, when he was on the PBC, I always said, like, yo, they don't realize they got a gold mine. And even now, I don't think they promoting that man to the fullest extent, because the man beat cancer. He could be the face of Americans. Like, he could be a lot of stuff, but they never utilized that angle. They're like, yo, this man, they told this man he was not going to box again. All right. They told this man and what he did, not only did he box again, he became a world champion. And they never promoted that angle.
Exactly. Exactly. Yo, they need to fire everybody. Nobody could come up with storylines. The writers are sucks. The producers are sucks. It's just a dinosaur way of business that they're handling right now, man. They gotta pass the torch and hire some young people that love the sport of boxing
Yep.
genuinely to promote the fight, to promote the event, to promote these boxers all year round in and out of the ring.
I agree. I'm gonna pass it to Doc. Doc, you heard what Oscar said, right? That people
Yes, sir.
are gravitating towards other sports instead of boxing. So, what do you think is a part of that problem? What's causing that to happen?
Access to the fights themselves, first and foremost. Because look, I grew up out in the middle of fucking nowhere, like on some Grizzly Adams shit, right? Just to show my age. And I'm talking. We got 2.5 channels, Julius. ABC, NBC, and we could get the audio for CBS, but it was like ant races, right? You can follow. And my father would have to send me up on the fucking roof where we had the flying kite style antenna, turn a little this way, a little more to the left, kid, to the right. All right, now hold it there for an hour. You know what I mean? So my point being this, even I, in the 70s and somewhat into the 80s, right, as a little kid, because of ABC Wide World of Sports, even I had access to the big fights. You get me? At minimum, at worst, if it was like, a really big deal, they'd replay the whole thing within a couple weeks after the fact. Like, you know what I mean? Like, say your Rumble in the Jungle, right? You were going to get that on free TV, but within 2, maybe 4 weeks max, they're replaying the whole thing. Howard Cosell's breaking it down, interviewing the fighters. You understand me? Where is that? Where's our Howard Cosell? Where's our fucking Wide World of Sports? It ain't happening.
Do you think pay-per-view? Do you think closed circuit pay-per-views hurt the sport of boxing?
Yes, but I'll point out the key thing. Like, it's not like that didn't exist. You had closed circuit and shit like that back then in the 70s even, but you would they would replay the whole thing in short order. You get me? So you knew, even if you were like, I can't afford that, or I don't got the time, what the fuck ever, you knew within, like I said, 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks tops, you were getting a complete replay. And another thing, and we've talked about this before. Good luck trying to follow our fucking amateurs. Good luck trying to follow our Olympians. All right. That's another big thing.
That's made, and that I'll say, having grown up from the 80s to the 90s to the early 2000s, that's a big deal because Oscar had a following coming out of the Olympics. Roy had a little bit of a following. Floyd had a little bit of a following. You kept up with the Olympic Games, which then transitioned to you knowing, oh, this is the cat that was just in the Olympics.
Yeah.
Pro.
Yeah.
Now,
that's the guy that got robbed in Korea, Roy Jones. Like
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now it's not like that. Like that Olympic element is not, and really, maybe it's a lack of funding into our amateur system. I just don't know what the hell happened there that winning a gold medal stopped mattering to Americans because it's like the shit don't matter no more.
Beach did a great video about how at some point in the 70s, leading up to the team where we had like Leonard and all those guys, right? Leading up to that, we Julius, they like had overhauled our entire system because I think we only won 1 or 2 gold medals or some shit like that. They're like, hey, what the fuck is this? Now we can't, in men's boxing, we can't sniff a gold medal.
Nope, we're getting our asses kicked. But we are.
Yeah, yeah.
You want to know another good thing? Ring IQ, and I think I got a perfect example. It's momentum. Now think about this for a second. Now, I'm not a big fan of basketball as far as watching it. Don't get me wrong, I'll watch it if it's on, but I'm not. I was never a big fan of basketball. But I know for a fact that even though I'm not a big fan of it, I feel kind of ashamed to admit that because like you could literally not watch basketball for like 1, 2, no, I'll say maybe 2 to 3 years, and you could have missed out on some of the best years of basketball. You could have missed out like we literally have, okay, like I'm just throwing spitball out here, like you literally have people like Russell Westbrook, who was breaking records like every single game. And if you just didn't watch that season, you just missed out on his career. You missed out on a huge portion of his career in boxing. That's not the case. It's just people. There's no agency with these fights, so that's a big reason.
Can I add something to that? Even if you don't watch basketball, odds are if you're just the average American sports fan, you know who LeBron James is nonetheless.
Yes. That's
true, but I think the best thing about that is that they want to watch you too. They just don't want to just see your name.
I get it. But my point being, though, again, good luck with that with boxing.
Yeah, it's look.
Name the boxer that the average sports fan that isn't watching boxing for the last 3 years, you know what I mean, is going to recognize the name of.
Exactly. It was at a point.
Pacquiao.
It was at a point. Yeah, you could say Pacquiao. I mean, you could, but I will say, having grown up in that era, people don't know Pacquiao the way they knew Leonard or Tyson. You understand that
Ain't nobody. No, wait, hold on. Ain't nobody in the world alive today is more famous than Mike Tyson.
All right. Let me not make it about Tyson. You understand what I'm saying? Because it's, even though I feel that's the most best example, because it's the most crude example. People who did not follow boxing knew Mike. He was a superstar. He was a superstar.
Yes, that's right. I remember here in Mexico we had a video game of Julio Cesar Chavez for Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
Like if I'm being completely honest, I think when I was a kid, my earliest memories of Mike Tyson is the video game. They had this Mike Tyson video game. And then, of course, like I think he did like this one video of Razor Ruddock when he was just trash talking him, and it was funny. And it got up, like it blew up. That was my earliest memory.
Dude.
Yo,
does anybody here? Hang on.
Oscar De La Hoya was so famous back then that people bought his whack ass album and it won Grammy.
Yes.
Does anybody here that was alive at the time, when you think of stars in boxing, does anybody here put Mark Breland in that category?
No.
Off the top of your head. Okay. My man was in 2 episodes of Miami Vice.
Bro.
You understand me? You understand me?
Tommy Hearns was in
off of his Olympic did that off of his Olympic performance. You get me? And you know what I mean? And it's like he was like a second rate. I hate to say that, but you get what I'm trying to say, right? He's like a second tier guy. You know what I mean? And he's on like Miami Vice and shit. That's how big of a difference it is.
wasn't Kid
Like,
Norton and
I know one fighter that I think it's being, I don't know what's the word, Julius, que no lo están aprovechando bien.
Okay. That they're not taking advantage of how they can be promoted.
And that's David Lemieux, because that guy he's handsome, and he could be promoting perfumes and clothing and stuff like that.
He's got the personality of a ball sack.
Look.
Whoa,
No, hold on, wait a minute. This is what I'm gonna say. Jorge Linares in Japan, they have the guy like he's got sponsors, and
he's a superstar in Japan. Yeah,
he's like modeling clothes and shit like that. And I don't, I think that it could be bigger than that, but it's a valid point that Alejandro is making, that all the available avenues for a fighter to have alternate arms of revenue outside of the fight purse, they're not actually being explored, because you know what? Yeah, there's several arms of revenue that you could have if you explore them. But these days, it's like the promoter gets the budget from the network, and they just want the network to push the fighter. Like, no, bro, you got to sit down, look at this fighter, and figure out how you going to sell him. You got to do that, because beyond the fight don't matter if ain't nobody watching it.
It's the avenues of exposure are even more important than that. It's like, you know what I mean? Getting them on the cereal boxes, commercials, appearances in TV shows, et cetera, so people know who these people are, or they recognize their faces.
Tone, you showing your age, bringing up Pointer Sisters. You showing your age, bringing up Pointer Sisters.
Well, see, now another thing I'd like to add is that certain fighters, the promoters are going out of the way to overprotect them to the point where they're not taking any chances. Wilder comes to mind.
Yes.
And I mean that all fighters, if you're a fighter, you gotta take some chances. You're going to, if you want to be great, you want to have a legacy, you gotta sacrifice, and you gotta take some chances. And sometimes promoters are not letting that happen.
I'm gonna say
today.
I'm gonna say that the proliferation of world titles in the sport of boxing addresses the Wilder portion of the conversation, because it's like they created an environment where you could get a belt easier than you could before, and then that gives them the opportunity to just sit on that shit. Like, oh, so you just not going to unify then? You're just not going to unify. You don't
who do you think? Julius, I have a question. Who do you think are the only governing bodies in boxing that are doing the things right? Because I know IBF is one of them.
I would say, all right, and this is only recent years, because I've had my problems with the WBO. I've had my problems with shit they did in the past. But if we're going to stick to current events right now, first and foremost, the IBF don't play games. That's why I like them. Underneath them is the WBO, but there's a gap, okay? Because the WBO fuck around when they want to fuck around. They do.
And you know who's doing things right besides them? But it's like a minor body, the IBO.
Yeah, but the problem, the reason that I don't support the movement to recognize the IBO is because that's a fifth fucking title, bro. A fifth.
Yeah.
A fifth. Could you imagine how much more complex and convoluted it'd have to be to get an undisputed champion if we start recognizing the IBO? We already having problems with these guys.
But IBO is doing things better than WBA.
I mean, Gilberto. Look, Gilberto is disgusting, bro. Look, the shit he said recently, I was like, yo, this dude, dog, like, you disgusting, bro. He was like, I don't see a reason to stop making like, are you
man,
bro?
Yeah, they're gonna come out with a Taco Bell belt next or something. I mean, just come out.
And Julius, it wasn't him or Suleiman that was out saying Frig calling it calling it like positive confusion or some bullshit
No,
like that.
that was Suleiman. Suleiman
Okay,
was
that-
positive confusion of the franchise belt.
Yeah, see, and there's a
we got
structural
you.
problem. There's a structural problem here. Hang on. There's a structural problem here too. Because the way boxing works compared to all of our other sports, it would be like if you took, not just the conferences, take the divisions in, the Pacific Division in basketball, right? The AFC West in football. It would be like if they were all independent entities that were not forced to interact or compete with each other, and occasionally a team from one would go play the other if we're lucky. But for the most part, they just, kept to themselves those 4 or 5 teams. And it's like you have that, a bunch, 4 or 5 scattered divisions, right, that occasionally overlap as opposed to a structured sport where okay, these guys are playing these guys.
I'm glad you brought that up, Doc, because that's a big part of what I think is hurting boxing, and it is infrastructure and the lack of it. Boxing is the wild, wild west, bro. It's literally the wild, wild west. Like, it's like there's not a set dynamic that, like, look, man, these goddamn guys, they gotta fight. Now the WBA will be like, no, you know what? We're gonna give Brandon Figueroa a belt, all right? And then we're going to get somebody under him a belt instead of being like, yo, we a governing body. And if you want to be a champion with us, then you have to fight. I ain't going to just give you a belt. You have to fight. Now, if you don't want to fight, then you don't get a belt. But because they want sanctioning fees, they're going to start giving out belts like trick-or-treater candy. Like you get a belt, and you get a belt, and you get a Snickers bar, you get an Almond Joy. Now, let me
like Oprah over here.
Let me answer this super chat. Let me answer this super chat. Do you think America has lost its competitive spirit, and not just in boxing, but with international sports in general? And so there's very little interest. I would say yes. I firmly believe that America has lost its competitive drive because America was used to being the big fish. And now it's kind of a situation to where, well, if we can't win, then we don't want to play. So we're going to play something else. That's the attitude that I see. That's why you don't see the rise of the big man, the giant, in the heavyweight division. Because it's like, oh, well, we ain't going to run this shit, then we ain't going to play. All right. Like, it's your choice. That's why most of the good heavyweights are coming from different parts of the world right now. They're not really coming from over here like they used to.
Who do you think was the last great heavyweight of the USA?
Evander?
Had to be.
We're talking like the most recently guy that was active that did shit,
I mean, serious. Like, look, nothing.
I'm trying to. You got me thinking.
No. I mean, if we're being honest, look, nothing against Chris Bird. God bless him. But we know what context we talking about. We know what context.
Shannon the Cannon, bro.
Yeah. Well, we're talking great. We're talking great.
Shannon could be.
Shannon's not great,
bro. I was allowed. No.
Hasim Rahman was undisputed.
Young guys, we're gonna stop this, young guys. I was alive when Shannon was boxing.
Hey, Julius, how are you? Are you like 30 years old?
I'm 1,000 years old, and I'm gonna tell you. Look,
I knew it.
I like Shannon. Don't get me wrong. I like him. I get nostalgic when I see him. I get nostalgic when I see him because he used to have the gold dreadlocks. I get nostalgic. But at the end of the day, was he considered great when he was campaigning? Nah, he wasn't even on a great run. Like with Evander, that air of greatness was there. With Mike, that air of greatness was there. With Larry and them guys, like, yeah, all of that was there. With Shannon, there was a shift. And it was happening as a result of Lennox. Lennox came over here beating everybody up.
Y'all hate.
See, maybe it would have to be between the 3 choices of Evander Holyfield, maybe Chris Bird, and I guess, I don't know, Tommy Morrison, I guess.
They weren't great.
Maybe.
Those guys weren't great. Those aren't great. That's not great.
Well, if you're talking great, like properly, if you're describing it as properly great, the last great American heavyweight is Evander Holyfield.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's been that long. Bro.
But y'all go stop doing Chris Bird dirty, man.
Yo, Mauricio does not have a neck, bro.
Mauricio, speaks English just like me. He's like, we are trying to make the new titles.
Bro, I'm telling you,
We
Ringati,
need
I was trying
many
to
more
tell you.
new titles.
I was
No,
trying to
no,
tell you
no.
earlier.
It's more Mexicano.
You know what hurts me about Mauricio? He's the same sign as me, dog. He's a Capricorn.
I knew it.
I'm
If
a
we do the
Capricorn.
franchise
And
back,
he's 1,000 years old too.
yo, dog, when I found out Mauricio was a Capricorn, I was like, this can't be, dog. How could this be?
I didn't know you believe in astrology.
I mean, I believe in certain traits, and only because I see that it's a constant. I wouldn't believe in it if I didn't have a basis in reality for it. And
It's
I
kind
do
of constant.
understand,
Yeah. It has
a
some
lot-
similarities.
like for
But
example, my sister's a Leo, right? According
Okay.
to the zodiac, Leos and Capricorns don't get along because we got very different ways of doing things. Leos want to be in front of the camera, Capricorns prefer to be behind the camera, right?
Okay.
Because she has such an overbearing personality, we don't get along. I love her. She's my sister. I love her. But overbearing. And the same is true of many Leos that I've met before I even realized that they was Leos. And then I'll be like, yo, oh, they a Leo. Oh, that makes sense because you're kind of overbearing. Like, chill.
Makes sense. There's some good cooking over there. Cooking.
Yeah, word DT3 over here making bacon. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, what's up, bro?
that boy making stew. What you mean? What you
I'm
making
gonna,
bacon
I'm
in a
gonna make
pot?
some tacos tutorial for you someday.
You making bacon in a pot? That's
Real tacos.
But I'm gonna
That's
say,
soup.
if I had to put my finger on, if I'm being honest, what's really hurting boxing that people are gravitating towards other sports? I'm gonna say it in one word: infrastructure. That's what's hurting boxing. The infrastructure is all crazy. The commissions is retarded. The sanctioning bodies is retarded. The referees is retarded. Robert Byrd didn't even hear the goddamn bell when Glovacki was fighting.
And some of the new media is guilty of that too, like Ego and those guys.
Where's our Howard? Yeah, where's our Howard Cosell putting people on the spot saying, you must fight so and so?
Fuck Howard
Hey,
Cosell.
don't forget too many weight classes either, man.
No, look, I'm gonna tell you something, Dan. I could stomach the number of weight classes. I really could. I could even stomach the number of world titles that's out there. I could stomach it. Wait, let me finish. I could stomach it if people are fighting, because I'm gonna tell you something that only someone my age would know. When Lennox unified all the belts and became undisputed, we didn't talk about the belts because they were fighting. The belts fell into the background. We literally didn't talk about the belts. It fell into the background because you didn't have to ask Lennox to fight everybody. He was fighting everybody. So you can have 4 belts so long as people are fighting. But if they ain't fighting, then all right, you creating a fucking problem.
And Lennox was in a pretty obscure era of boxing.
That's true.
But they were fighting everybody because Oscar de la Hoya was in a pretty obscure era of boxing, the late 90s, early 2000s, but he was fighting everybody.
But he was
starting to fade. Yeah, it was starting
like Costa Azul, Oscar de la Hoya, just any guy that unified titles, right? Would you believe, and Doc is gonna know this, we didn't talk about the titles back then. We didn't. When Tyson fought Tony Tucker, wasn't nobody talking about that IBF the way we talking about. He about to unify the title. Like, no, we wasn't talking about that because he was fighting everybody, so it didn't matter. Who
The
didn't
important thing was the fight itself.
When that fought Corey Spinks, Corey Spinks, wasn't nobody really tripping on it being really for the undisputed. Everybody was just happy to see Zab and Corey Spinks fight for a second time. They didn't really trip on it being about undisputed too much. They were just happy to see 2 top dudes fighting.
But I'm gonna say this, DT3. The reason that undisputed became such a big conversation is because now you see all the bullshit that has to happen for you to get what you used to get on a regular. You used to get that on a regular. That they all fighting. They all fighting. Now
and
you gotta
and more fundamental. Yeah, and more fundamental than that. It's like we had this conversation a couple times. If you're most of us are probably amongst our sports watching friends, most of us are probably the boxing guy, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right. When your buddy's turn to you and say, okay, who's a lightweight champ? Who's the heavyweight champion of the world? Used to be you had, like you're saying, when it was Lennox, you had one fucking answer.
Yep.
Or for a moment there, it was like, well, we got this shit with Lennox and Evander, but they're fighting in this many months, and we're gonna find out.
Exactly. You didn't. It was like, look, if you ask me, yo, what gotta happen? Like to the casual observer, if I tell him, well, Tyson Fury's the champ, but so is AJ, but they gotta fight, but they ain't about to fight because they got this thing called mandatory. It's like, bro, it's a process.
Right, exactly. But by the time you get that far, Julius, by the time you get that far, your average sports fan friend, their eyes are glazing over. They're, you know what I mean?
No, it's the truth. It's the truth. It's like, bro, imagine me trying to explain to somebody that don't watch this sport and don't know it about the gold and the silver and the bronze and the pearl and the interim and the interstellar and the they're gonna be
Can
like,
I say something?
Champion?
Interstellar title.
Can I say something?
Tell us, Marcaricio.
Yeah, Marcaricio here. I have a genuine problem with like everything that's going on, and one of the main things is right that I think a lot of boxing's issue today is that the belts are taking on. Someone got an echo on me. Fix that.
Let me check who got a mic on. I'm gonna mute everybody until Mark done talking.
Okay.
Oh wait, I just muted Mark.
Yeah. Yo, what the hell, bro?
I got you, man, Mark.
Right. Look at like a lot. I think boxing with the belts and everything has become a lot like a modern society and one specific dynamic. Gender identity politics. I know that's gonna sound stupid as fuck, and I'm not talking about the women's game or the men's game, right? What I'm talking about specifically the belts, right? A lot of people in my age bracket and below have started to create new identities of genders and sexual identities, right? You've demisexual, right? You've got transsexuals galore, right? You have all of this stuff. You have non-binary. You have binary. You have cisgendered males, females, etc. That's what the belts is like. It's like they kind of adopted that scenario for multiple different things. Like everybody can pick whoever they want to be, like a participation trophy.
Now I'm gonna say this, Mark. This is why I'm not against the belts, right? All right. Let's say we got a great fighter from out of Ireland, right? And he wins. Let's say we got a great Irish fighter. He's great. He wins the IBF, right? Then we got a good fighter coming out of Spain, right? He gets the motherfucking WBC, whatever. It brings a global element to it. They're like, yo, the Irish got a champion, but the motherfucking Spaniards got a champion too. So it's like the Olympics.
Do you know what that used to be? Do you know what that used to be?
What that used to be?
The national champion.
But you see where I'm going with it.
And then they used to be the continental champion.
But
it would move up to European champion, and then eventually those guys would fight for fucking the world titles. Yeah,
but you see where I'm going with it. That it's not so much that it shouldn't be for belts. It's that people need to fight, because so long as they're fighting, the number of titles that's floating around don't matter, because they're going to be consolidated. Why?
That's why I have a problem with the belts. That's why.
If you want people to start fighting, if you want people to start fighting more, sorry, Mark, go ahead.
That's why my problem is with the belts, Julius, because you know the way you want people to fight, and it won't be a problem as long as people are fighting. The problem with how many belts there is means that there's more sanctioned bodies. The more sanctioned bodies there is, the more differentiated rankings we have. The more differentiated rankings we have, the more chance we have of the best fights not happening.
I disagree, because the baddest influence that I see on the sport and what fights we not getting, it ain't Mauricio, because the money don't even come from fucking Mauricio. Mauricio don't get there till Fox, till motherfucking DAZN, Matchroom or whatever. Not the promoters, but the actual platforms. He don't get there till they put up the money. And the problem is that those platforms are dividing the sport, and the promoters are letting them. They're letting them do it. Like, no, we ain't going.
Do you know what Mauricio did do? Do you know what he did do? If I recall correctly, he pulled a title, didn't he? He pulled a title from a tournament.
Yeah, he did. He did. He did. The World Boxing Super Series. He
Right?
put
You
WBC.
remember that? Remember, Julius? That pissed you to fuck off.
Yeah, that did piss me the fuck off.
And
But
another thing
is
too.
that the nature of the problem? No, the biggest influence, right? You always got to follow the paper. The money determines what fights make sense, what fights don't make sense, what fight happen, what fight don't happen. Now, where is the money coming from? The money's coming from the Zone. The money's coming from ESPN. The money's coming from Showtime and Fox. Used to be HBO, right? They used to be in that conversation too. And the problem is that these networks are trying to brand their brand of boxing. No, let boxing be boxing. Boxing is a global sport. Let it be boxing, not PBC, not Fox boxing or Showtime. No, let it be boxing, bro. Work with the promoters and work out a bartering system. Tell them, you know what? You got a champion. I got a champion. We got a couple of champions. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna get 2 fights. These 2 fights, we're gonna sit down, we're gonna look at what fights we got that we can make between each other, and we're gonna barter. Okay, you get this fight, we get that fight. They don't want
What
to
we
do
need
that.
is an oligopoly. That's what we need in this sport.
I don't know what an oligopoly is.
It's essentially a monopoly, just one step down below. Disney is an oligopoly.
You need an overall structure like every other fucking sports league has.
I'll tell you what an oligopoly is. I'll tell you what it is.
You're gonna have like a playoff structure. Yeah, go ahead.
UFC is an oligopoly.
Yeah.
That's an oligopoly. Don King was an oligopoly. He had everything.
What about sidestepping mandatories? Because that happens a lot too.
Do you know what I'd like to see? Get rid of mandatories.
I would say this, and this is where the sanction, because that's a mandatory situation, and the conversation of sanctioning bodies is actually a smaller conversation than the one we're having, because the issue there is simple. These sanctioning bodies are fucking greedy, and they just want sanctioning fees. Like that's basically what that shit is.
So remove them all.
You think but then what would give it a pecking order? Where would the pecking order come from?
Make something like the FIFA.
The media.
Look, a mandatory.
You can't leave it to the media to come on.
It used to be the media. That's what Lineal's based off of.
Bro, come on.
We don't. That's what I said. We don't got no Burt Sugar. There ain't no Burt Sugars and fucking Howard Cosell's running around covering boxing anymore.
Look, I would much rather trust, fucking Ring IQ and Boxing Beats and Rhymes to create a ranking system, than Mauricio Sullivan and the fucking Cowboys of Tijuana.
Well, yeah, which is why Mauricio and them would keep them the fuck out.
All I'm saying is I see that there is a benefit of having sanctioning bodies and a pecking order and rankings. I also see the flaws. I'm not disagreeing with you on that, Mark. But what I'm trying to say is that it's like when they say there shouldn't be no police. Do you know what the fuck would happen if there was no police? Do you realize
That's an extreme? Hold on.
Let me do this. If there was no police, right? Do you understand that I'm the one that's going to be robbing you? I'm the one that's going to be at your door with the gun to your face trying to take your shit. Now, just because the police have flaws don't mean you should get rid of them altogether.
Sanctioning bodies aren't the police.
But what he's getting at is the way you don't just get rid of them. You need to reorganize the way that they are applied. Look, mandatories should be like playoff games in theory, in idealistically, right? Could you imagine if the Lakers decided, we're pulling out of this playoff series, or we're not even going to do it? We're going to sidestep that.
Imagine, Doc. Imagine if the Yankees told, like, the Orioles or somebody, we're not gonna play you because you want another channel with some dumb shit.
Yes, exactly.
The other side of the street.
Yeah, like, yo, look, man, like, we're not gonna play that team because they show their games on CBS and they show our games on Fox.
We're talking about a playoff game. Imagine if it was a playoff game and they do that. That's what we're talking about when we're talking about mandatories and like the kind of structure that they should be creating. Like you said, a pecking order, right?
Yep.
That's what all of this should be. It should be it should basically be like boxing's versions
Yeah.
of the playoffs. You got your mandatories, then you got your belts, and then you got your unifications, then you got your fucking undisputed as the capstone of the pyramid.
Yo, real quick, who was it Canelo that wouldn't let Corkland have Ann Wolf in the corner?
Yes.
Yo, imagine if the Packers said, "Yo, we ain't playing like back in the day." The Packers were like, "Yo, we ain't playing the Patriots if you've got Tom Brady."
Wow. I didn't know Canelo did that with James Kirkland. Such a shame.
Yeah, he did.
But that's why I said earlier that boxing right now, right? The way that, because it hasn't changed. Like boxing was always kind of the wild, wild west. But the promoters back then, like Don King is a crook, no doubt about it. But he knew what people wanted, and he knew how to satisfy the people.
Bring back Don King.
I don't know about bring back Don. Let's clone him and let's retrain him and teach him. Let's clone Don. Let's call him Ron King or Don Ray.
Because then what we're gonna get is Al Heyman.
Nah, he not. He man. He wish. Al
Heyman knows what the people want.
Like you said before,
that's what reprogramming does.
No, he does not. No, he does not.
I think right now the best promoter is Eddie Hearn, like you said before, guys.
I agree.
Can I say something on Eddie Hearn?
Eddie Hearn makes me proud to be English, and I'm not English, but I speak.
Eddie Hearn makes me very proud to not be English.
This is an Eddie Hearn love channel. This is an Eddie Hearn love channel.
What you can do is you can turn around to Eddie Hearn, right? And you can ask him one day from me, right? Why is it that outside of Anthony Joshua, outside of him, Eddie Hearn has done better promoting himself than his own fucking fighters?
Katie Taylor?
He hasn't promoted Katie Taylor that well.
I disagree.
Katie Taylor had an entire fucking country behind her before she even turned
But you know it's
Katie's fame hasn't risen.
Bro,
maybe in some other countries. Katie
Katie
Taylor hasn't even headlined a fucking card.
Mark, hold on.
Bro, 5 years ago, Mark, people didn't even give a damn about female boxing. Right now, female boxing is growing up slowly, but growing up.
No, I'm because I could say this wholeheartedly. I could say this 100%. Katie is a big part of the reason that I became a big fan. Like I was following it little by little. Like I knew about some fighters, but when Katie really made me sit down. Like, yo, let me look at these other girls. Is there another girl like Katie?
Well, he didn't really promote her. He put her on cards. He didn't really do anything. What's he doing other than putting her on the show?
Be honest, bro. You got.
No, he's just giving her the opportunity to fight in his belt. He ain't actually promoting. That's what his job is, promoting. He ain't promoting her.
And the platform. Like you got to remember. Getting the platform is one of the biggest steps. Like you have to have the stage to fight so people can see you. You can't say he didn't give her that. He gave her that. Now, who before him was making that effort? And now look at the stable now. Like most motherfuckers don't realize, yo, Eddie got a stable of killers. He got a stable. They don't know it yet, but they will. Give it time. You got a stable of killers.
And we're kind of coming full circle now to what you were talking about when I jumped on, which is how women's boxing's moving in leaps and bounds right before our eyes, right?
Yep.
And a big reason for that, again, I understand about talent pool, but we're talking about optics, right? A big reason for that is the men have let them in.
Yep.
Through their own inaction, they've given the females an opportunity, and the women have taken it.
I'm gonna tell you.
And real quick, Julius. And the bottom line is this. Because again, because when you're talking about boxing getting back to where it was, you're talking about making it appeal to the common sports fan. The women get down. The women make the fights happen. We got 3 undisputed fucking women champions. Yep. We can't. Who do we have to kill? Who do we have to kill and leave in the ditch to get a men's undisputed champion?
Now I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna say this right because it's just like Doc just said. The reason that the women's sport is becoming especially more appealing to me, is because the sporting element of it is still there. When they told Shannon Courtenay, yo, you got to fight Rachel Wall. Shannon ain't bitch. Shannon ain't moan. Shannon ain't cry. She took the goddamn fight. She lost the fight and she'll be back. You know what I mean? Whatever. She'll be back. It's one loss. It ain't shit. It's one loss. But she took the fight, bro. When they offered Jessica McCaskill to break his fight, she took it. She had every reason not to take it. She took it.
Katie Taylor the rematch with Persoon, and she took it,
And she
and
took
that fight was dangerous.
you don't see the watered down.
She took it because Serrano pulled out, though.
She did take it because Serrano pulled out.
Yeah, so sad. I want to see that fight so bad. You know,
Katie
Serrano
beat the
versus
shit out of
Taylor
us.
was a great fight.
Be a boxing fan, if I'm gonna be a boxing fan, then I gotta be 100 all the way boxing fan. I don't want Serrano wasting my time no more. You talked all that.
Katie
Serrano
beats
did-
the crap out of her.
Oye, Julio, porque sí fue una lástima esa pelea de Serrano Taylor. Yo sí la quería ver, era
Sí.
muy buena.
Esa tipa estaba hablando mierda. Yo no quiero que gasten tiempo y dinero en una tipa que no quiere pelear. Ella no quiere pelear. So déjala quieta and go do whatever the fuck it is you do. Déjala quieta, que there's a lot of girls out there that want to fight.
Was that the first time that Serrano was fighting an active champion or something like that?
No, she fought. This is the thing, right? Serrano in about 10 years as a pro, maybe a little more than that, because she debuted, I think, what was it, 2009. From 2009 till 2020, in 7 weight classes, 7, you only fought 2 champions. Barbie Juarez was right fucking there, bro. Arely Musinho was right fucking there, bro. Don't tell me that, like, there's this notion that, oh, it wasn't no good fighters around. No, it was good fighters. Ava Knight was around. Why you ain't go after Ava? If you've been moving up and down in weight from 140 to fucking 115, you telling me you ain't bump into Daniela Bermudez or Delphine Passoon? You ain't bump into none of them. But wait till Katie Taylor roll around, because she got guts and she had a fight. But you was here before her. These champions that Katie is fighting, these girls, yo, they was here when you was here. You just wasn't trying to fight them. You was just trying to win belts on some music type shit. Like, you trying to fool people with some other shit. Cause like, I see you not fighting nobody. Like, you not fighting nobody.
Serrano.
Hey, Julius, you know what?
No.
Yeah, hang on. You know what? You tell me if I'm being too harsh here. When you put it like that, I find myself thinking, you know what? On the men's side of things, we got a whole fuck ton of Amanda Serrano.
Yes, we do. Yes,
Yep.
we do.
100%.
Leo Santa Cruz.
My goodness. Could there be a better parallel? Could there?
I cannot stand Santa Cruz. I cannot stand Leo Santa Cruz. Yes, go ahead. You're right.
Amanda Serrano is the Leo Santa Cruz of females boxing.
No.
They're
Leo
used to-
Santa Cruz is the Amanda Serrano. Let's put it that way. Because she been at that hustle longer than him. Like, yo, all you doing is as soon as a belt go vacant, you gonna go pick it up. Bro, I know all the names from all them weights. I know who was here then and who is not here now. And you must have you ducking whole weight classes because you literally not fighting nobody.
But Julius, on the men's side, it's like almost everybody moves like that.
Nah. We can't, like, for example, right? If I look at top ranked fighters, right? Emmanuel Navarrete fought Isaac Dogbay and took his belt, yo. He fought him. He gave him a rematch. Like, all right, you're going to get the rematch. And you're going to get another chance at me because I beat your ass.
Yeah, el Vaquero está haciendo las cosas muy bien. He's doing things right.
El Vaquero had 5 fucking title defenses. And I understand that they weren't the greatest guys. But that's old school shit. When you get out there.
Yeah, and I think Vaquero, if he keeps on that way, he's going to be the next Mexico superstar.
And now he was gonna fight Magdaleno, but Magdaleno didn't like the money. That's what I heard. Magdaleno.
Oh man, such a shame.
Yeah, that would have been a good ass fight.
Yeah.
Here's one for you. Here's one for you. For vacants and stuff. Do you know who's the king of the vacants?
No.
Tony Bellew. That man hasn't beaten the champion for any belt all the way down to British level.
And I just read that Pacquiao has never unified a title.
Yeah, he never did. I said that plenty, and I don't look because I'm not a Pacquiao hater, right? It's just that
No, me neither.
That conversation. As soon as we talk Pacquiao, we got to bring Floyd into it. Where people like to say that, oh man, he did shit that Floyd never did, bro. Floyd unified, man. He didn't. He unified.
Yep.
It's like do you guys think that because you bring Leo Santa Cruz, do you guys think Leo has a chance with Gervonta Davis?
Only if the scale has to beat Javante for Leo to have a chance. The scale has to be, and I think it will. because, like, look, I'm watching them to see what's going to happen. I don't know, but I know that every training video that I've seen of Javante in recent memory, he still got the gut. So either he not going to make 130, it's either he not going to make it, or he going to try to make it, and he going to be spent because he still got a gut. Bro, you a 135-pound fighter. Why do you have a gut?
Porque, o sea, yo realmente no soy un fan de Leo Santa Cruz, you know, pero yo espero que Leo Santa Cruz le gane a Davis porque Davis es una mala persona.
Yo lo que espero es que Leo es más profesional. Tú no oyes esa vaina. Y no me gusta Leo, no me gusta. Pero tú no oyes esa vaina de que he didn't make weight. No, eso no pasa. Por lo menos Leo keeps his weight in check.
No, and Davis is a bad person. He's unlikable. Like, I don't know. He's like he's a bad person. I hope Leo Santa Cruz beats him up, but I don't know if he has some, si tiene oportunidad de hacerlo, porque pues Leo es de un peso más chico.
I'll say something in fairness to Davis. Floyd did him no favors.
He didn't.
When the moment that man won a title, what's coming out of Floyd's mouth? We ain't fighting. He basically came out, we're not fighting Lomachenko.
Yep.
Don't hold your breath for that. Thanks, Floyd. Thanks, Floyd. Thanks. That's just what we needed. That's just what boxing needed. Thanks.
I'm glad you said that, Doc.
And that's
I feel that
Floyd.
Hold on, déjame decir esto. Floyd made, and it's funny you said that, Doc, because I said that shit a minute ago. Like, yo, Floyd made him a social pariah. You didn't have to say that. Why the fuck would you say that, dog? You could have said anything. You basically said no. No.
Yeah. He shut it straight down. It's like, whoa, okay, is that what we're doing now?
And I'm surprised because Floyd fought everybody in front of him, you know?
But Floyd also knows that Javante, and this is why I see Floyd. I said this when I seen Floyd training Haney. Floyd see himself in Haney because he sees himself in that fighter. He don't see himself in Javante.
Because Haney is discipline, has discipline, and he's a good fighter, and he's like all around sportsmanship, you know. And Davis is like out of the ring. He's like Bronner.
Yeah,
he's
baby Broner.
Hanging out with Broner. Yeah, he's Broner 2.0.
Yeah, fucked up twice.
You know who other fighter is a Bronner? David Benavides.
No. Te voy a decir una vaina del Benavides. Te voy a decir una vaina. If David would have ended up going to Top Rank like he was going to 2 years ago, remember 2 years ago? He was going to the PBC. He was going to go to Top Rank. If that fucking shit would have went through, toda esta vaina de cocaína, de que he got fat, that shit would not happen. That shit would not happen.
Pero son actitudes indisciplinadas. He's been undisciplined.
Pero ¿por qué? Tú no ves que toda esa gente que están en ese side del street, ellos tienen los mismos problemas. Keith Thurman said he ate too much fucking ice cream. He couldn't manage his fucking weight. Javante Davis is running around with a gut. He's 135 pounds. Adrian Broner talking about he could still make lightweight. No,
Julius, Gervonta Davis looks like he's pregnant.
Bro, Broner said he could make lightweight when 2 years ago he couldn't make 142 for the Granados fight.
Yeah, that's right.
142. He changed the weight at the last minute on Granados.
I would say that the most disciplined fighter in the PBC is Sean Porter.
Yep, only one. And Caleb Plant.
Yeah, Plant is always ripped. He is always ready to fight. Yeah, Plant too.
Hold on.
Let me
Charlos.
And also, I don't see how Bob Arum's going to be able to keep Benavides off the cocaine. I don't think that was going to matter one way or the other.
I think it would have mattered. I think it would have mattered because Bob, look, everybody talks about how Bob, right, that he don't be giving out money. They're like, yo, you got to get the cash the hard way. That's the type of shit that keep you focused, sink or swim, bro. However far you go is up to you and your fucking discipline.
Okay, I'll give you this. I'll give you this, Julius. Bob would have got rid of his ass.
Maybe
Bob would have probably would have got rid of him.
I heard that's why he got rid of Ruiz. I heard that's why he let him go because he's undisciplined. That's what I heard. But
in Top Rank, they give their prospects real challenges.
They do. And that's why and that's why Top Rank breeds good fucking fighters. Even the C-level fighter of Top Rank is better than the B-level fighter of the PBC.
Mariaga, for
Well,
example.
Bob's because Bob's from that, like, not even the previous generation. He's like from 2 to 3 generations ago when shit was way different. And we've talked about this before too. You have to understand, and this is not condemning or condoning. This is just what I see in terms of chain of causality. Al Heyman, his mindset is basically his whole mind outlook is making sure his fighters don't end up like his brother did.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's again, I'm not condemning or condoning, but that's, to me, just the reality. His whole mindset is, okay, let me get these guys paid.
That's if we're being honest, because look at what goes on. That Bob, and I'm not like, Bob is not a hero. You understand what I mean? It's not like I'm saying Bob is the patron saint of boxing. It's just that Bob operates in a way that's an old school way. They're like, look, dog, I'm not just here to give you money. I'm not here to do that. You could earn the money, but I'm not just here to give it to you. I ain't just gonna give it to you just to give it to you. Now that's the shit that Al do. But what happens when you give somebody something and they don't really gotta go through the fire? Because it's not like I want to knock all those guys and what work they do put in. You understand? It's a hard sport. It's a dangerous sport. And I appreciate that danger. I understand it. I don't want to trivialize it. But you're not going to tell me that Keith Thurman sitting around eating ice cream and shit and that is the same kind of situation you got with them guys at Top Rank. Them guys at Top Rank, if you follow Top Rank and Top Rank fighters, bro, you see Jamel fucking Herring, you see fucking what's that guy's name, Nelson, you see Terrence Crawford.
Oh, Jamel Herring is so underrated, man.
Yo, and all you see is these motherfuckers is always working out. They always working out. It, like, you're not going, yeah, motherfucker got fat. Like, no, not them. They always working out.
Let me answer the guy in the chat asking what happened to Heyman's brother. Look up Bobby Heyman. Bobby Heyman is out. Got beat he basically got chewed up and spit out by the sport of boxing. And at the last fight of his career, he got the shit beat out of him by Sugar Ray Leonard.
Sugar Ray Leonard nearly punched him to death, mate.
Yeah. So basically, he was damaged as a person and had no money left. That's what boxing did to him. Al witnessed all that, and that informs the way Al operates. I'm not condoning, not condemning. I'm just saying chain of causality, the way I see it.
Let me address this one. You don't see Miller at Top Rank because as soon as he got popped, what they did with him.
That's what I'm saying. They got rid of him. They got popped.
No mercy with Miller.
Yeah, like it ain't like they kept him around after. Nah, when he got popped, bro, you didn't even get the debut under the banner. Think about it.
Because like you said, if Miller got popped in the PBC, he will be fighting for baby titles right now.
Bro, Ortiz got popped under the PBC, and it was heart pressure. All right, bro, it was heart pressure All right, bro. Okay, I think I'm not trying to point the finger, but I'm just saying, before somebody tell me, oh, at Top Rank you seen Miller. When have you seen Miller fight on a Top Rank card? He never got the chance. Soon as he got popped, they got rid of his ass.
Yep.
Now Heyman, it's like I could understand that perspective that like, oh, well, you want to be the guy that prevents certain shit from happening to fighters. Like, you see what happened to your brother, you don't want to let that happen if that's what's going on, which a part of me feels that like, yeah, that's a part of it. But at the same time,
it's part of the chain of causality.
It is. But at the same time, if you so for the fucking fighter, why the hell Adam Kovnowski ain't get to fight Joshua for $5-6 million so he could go in there and lose to Robert Helenius for what, $100,000 or whatever it was? Like, bruh, why did Peter Quillen throw his real belt in the air to go fight for a baby belt and then lose fighting for that baby belt? For that, you might as well have let him protect his real one.
Yep, because steel sharpens steel. That gets back to where I think you're going here. You for all of the positive things he probably does, they're not getting they're not getting that friction of steel sharpening steel.
Because it's not conducive to the fighter. Like, the fighter has to be, and this is just common sense. The fighter has to be in a perpetual state of war, and he must be uncomfortable at all times. If you let him get comfortable, complacency sets in, and you get Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman used to be all right. He used to be all right.
Yep.
He started eating ice cream and getting Punjabi pussy, and he don't care about boxing. Now,
Bro, Kate Turman is
Yep.
like 185 pounds between fights. Like,
yeah,
wow.
Yeah, you basically lose your edge, man. You totally lose your edge, and that's it. You end up done.
Boxing's the kind of thing where you have, if you to really excel at boxing to any degree, and this is just my opinion, you have to have a built-in intrinsic desire to be great for the sake of being great, come hell or high water, for regardless of its effect on your personal life, family, friends, any of that. None of that shit matters. You want to be great.
It has to be there because boxing is not like working at the post office. You can't go through the motions. You can't just go through the motions and do that job. Boxing, you have to want to be there. You have to want the opportunity. Don't you see the journeyman of old? Guy have 3-4 losses or some shit like that. Guy like Burt Cooper still go in there and fight his ass off. Fight his fucking ass off. Losses and all. Fight his fucking ass off.
Because he
stayed hungry.
You got guys that have not lost. They have literally not lost and won't fight their ass off because they've been eating ice cream. That's fucking gonzo. Like, what are you doing to these fighters, man? What are you doing? They're not fighters no more.
Because I believe they think having double-digit losses is like a big shame, but remember Jersey Joe Walcott, he's a legend and he had double-digit losses.
What, bro, look, I'd take Mickey Roman over a lot of guys, and he has double-digit fucking losses. I think he's also dating he's dating Benita Fernandez, I think it is. He's dating one of them broads. Shout out to Mickey Roman.
A more recent guy.
El Mickey Roman, muy buen peleador.
Yeah, and he got double-digit losses, but he's dangerous.
Because the reason Salido's got that record is because he came up the hard way.
Yeah,
he learned on the job. But he was fighting Marquez's, you know what I mean? And guys like that, that's where he's getting his L's from and shit. So by the time he got to Lomachenko, like Julius just said, dude's dangerous.
Salido has two of the biggest upsets in recent times because Salido beat Lomachenko and beat Juanma Lopez.
Look, put it like this, right? I had this conversation when Natasha Jonas was here, right? About what
beautiful lady.
About what people were saying in a buildup of her fight. That it's like, I think that people don't realize, look, she lost a fight. She go in there, she gonna go crazy in there. You see what I'm saying? Losing one fight doesn't make you less dangerous. It makes you more dangerous because now you done got over that hurdle. You done got over that hump. Now you ain't got to worry about protecting none of that. That makes you more dangerous. Look at Derek Chisora. If Derek Chisora is dangerous to Alexander Usyk, it's because Usyk has an O to protect, not Derek. Derek go in there and go for the goddamn gusto like he ain't like it ain't shit.
He has nothing to lose.
The difference is these guys are serious about the sport. Some of these other ice cream eating champions aren't.
Yeah, but also,
go ahead.
Also the responsibility lies with the fighters. Like, for example, Sean Porter building this fight he had in his last fight, but yet during the promotion he's saying that he never heard of this fighter before. Now, how are you going to sell something by saying, "Oh, I'm going to fight somebody, but I never heard of him before. I never watched the tape." There's a lot of fighters nowadays saying this thing is becoming a trend where I don't look at tapes. Nah, I just fight. You ask them who's champion. Oh, I don't know. You asked Earl Spence before the Mikey Garcia fight. Oh, is Sean Porter fighting next week or something? I ain't know nothing about that. Like, these fighters don't even follow their own sport. So how you gonna expect fans to follow the sport when you don't even give a damn about your own sport?
Word. And now for that I'm gonna show you something. Michaela Mayer coach Al Mitchell. He has that girl watching tapes all goddamn day. He old school. He know how to train goddamn fighters because that's what the hell you supposed to be doing. Al Heyman creates an environment where fighters ain't worried, so they ain't sharp. Like, I ain't got to worry about no top ranked fighter because I ain't going to fight him. I ain't got to worry about no goddamn matchroom fighter, even if they are the champion, because I ain't going to fight them. So you got motherfuckers that's not paying attention no more. But every other motherfucker is looking like, yo, yeah, I got to fucking pay attention. Fucking Emmanuel Navarrete's running around out there. Fucking Miguel Bachelta's running around. I got to fucking pay attention. These guys is in my weight or whatever. I got to pay attention. Al got guys like, oh, we ain't got to worry about Bud because ain't none of us going to fight him. Like, we ain't got to worry about him. We ain't got to worry about Bivol. Why would we worry about Bivol? Which one of y'all going to fight Bivol? Marcus Brown sat on 2 title shots. He could have fought Vosnik or he could have fought Bivol. So he could end up fucking losing to Jean Pascal. That's fucking nuts. A guy that Bivol beat.
And you know what? In the end of the day, it's not about us. It's going to be the people, the boxing fans and people that are boxing historians and digging into this stuff 10, 20, 30, 40 years from now that are going to look back. They're going to be the ones that judge these guys harshly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're the ones that are going to be, you know what I mean, framing their careers indelibly.
Yeah. If you
another thing they're letting flourish too, and it's mainly among a lot of these fans, at least a lot of the casual fans, and some fighters, I actually believe too, is that if they get one loss, they think the freaking world has come to an end. It's like they give up.
Oh yeah. Throwing guys.
That's bullshit.
Dan, that's because they not breeding fighters. They, like, I'm telling you, it's because they not breeding fighters. Go back to the day, the 90s, the 80s. Man, you had guys catching L's like motherfuckers catch a cold, but they'll still go in there when it's time to go in there and fight like the Holy fucking Spirit was in their ass, regardless of the L. But if you got guys that you keep telling them, yo, you the shit, yo, you the shit, yo, you the shit, psychologically, when they take that first L, they can't come back. Why? Because you're not breeding a fighter. You breeding a quote unquote superstar. You trying to make superstars, not fighters. Fighter ain't gonna be worried about no motherfucking L.
Right, or
they're doing that lo están haciendo al revés, because para ser un superstar, to get to the superstar status, you need work hard, because they see se ven reflejados en Floyd Mayweather, but Floyd Mayweather get to that superstar status because he worked hard and he was a gym rat and he was training all day, and you know that's right. But you know, the Charlos, the Caleb Plants, I don't know, these boxers that are world champions but not that big, quieren llegar a ese status sin trabajar duro. They want to get there to the Floyd Mayweather place without working hard.
Without the fucking Angel Manfredi. They want to get there without Manfredi. They want to get there without Gennaro. They want to get there without Zab, without Castillo. They want to get there without all that shit. It's like, you don't understand? You need that shit. You
gotta have real quick. You gotta have dance partners, and if you've got proper dance partners, guess what? You're losing. You're gonna lose at some point. All the greats outside of El Finito, outside of El Finito and Floyd, name me the guy that's great. That we would consider great that don't got losses. Good luck.
All the greats. Look at Ryan Garcia. He's a prospect. He ain't put in the work yet. He thinks he's a star because he's got so many X amount of followers on Instagram. Nobody gives a shit about Instagram. Put the work in and go fight people. You'll become a star that way.
Like, he thinks he's already Oscar and he ain't done shit compared to Oscar.
Fucking Bernard, like from Bernard Hopkins to Juan Manuel Marquez to fucking Henry Armstrong, you got guys that inside of their first 5 or 10 fights, they took an L. They might have took more than one L, but
Bernard Hopkins,
he lost his first fight.
Yep.
Fucking Juan Manuel, he lost his first fight. Fucking Henry Armstrong, he lost like 3 of his first 5 fights.
Did you just mention El Finito Lopez?
Yeah, I did.
El Finito Lopez El Finito Lopez is from a neighborhood.
Oh, damn. Right.
He's from Tacubaya. I live near a neighborhood called Tacubaya, and El Finito Lopez is from Tacubaya, and he's like superstar around here. El Finito is an idol around here.
He's a rarity because Finito peleó con la gente que estaban ahí. Pero eso no diciendo que esa clase de carrera es común. Eso no es común. Si
y el Finito iba al patio, o sea, iba al backyard. He was going to the backyard of the fighters and snatch the titles, you know?
Real shit. But it's like, in other words, it should never be thought that like, oh yeah, because the dude lost or that you trying to avoid losing. No, don't worry about the L, bro. Fight. That's what you here to do. You here to fight. Fight.
Joe Frazier.
Y'all remember the movie?
Hang on. Joe Frazier got knocked the fuck out brutally twice by George Foreman. Still great. Still great.
Yep.
Joe Frazier, my favorite heavyweight of all time.
Go ahead,
y'all remember the movie? Y'all remember the movie Training Day? Now, Al
Yeah.
Heyman is Denzel Washington. We want
Facts.
Ethan Hawke. We want Ethan Hawke. You remember when he's coming and he's trying to fight? I mean, he's trying to protect and serve.
Facts.
But Denzel Washington's like, yo, you got to work around, the business, And you see the Dr. Dre's of the world when they're in the house. That's PBC, and we want Ethan Hawke.
What real shit?
That's how it is.
That's
because like Julius is saying, there's unintended consequences for the way Al does things. Like I said, I think I'm just gonna I'll just go. I will go under the presumption Al's coming from a place of, like I said, not wanting people to end up like his brother, but he ain't realizing the side effects of doing shit that way.
Exactly. Thank you, because that's what I look at it as. That in you trying to make this kind of an environment, what you're not understanding is you're killing the competitive drive that makes a fighter a fighter. You got these motherfuckers not worrying about shit that they should be worrying about, but they not worrying about that shit because they know they fucking with you, and then fucking with you, they ain't going. There's certain fights they not never gonna have. Like, yo, ain't no reason that Marcus Brown should have sat there with 2 motherfucking title shots, one for Vosdick and one for Bivol, and who you end up losing to, Jean Pascal. That's that. Like, seriously? Like,
you mentioned Marquez, right?
Mm-hmm.
Without those early experiences in his career,
Marquez.
Yes, El Dynamite, right? If he doesn't have those experiences early in his career, he ain't getting up 3 times against Pacquiao.
Word.
He's gonna say fuck this. He's gonna say fuck this. You know what I mean? And sit down.
Exactly.
Now I want y'all. Now I don't know if y'all caught this morning's fight with Jeff Horn and Tim Tszyu, right? They'll look at a guy like Jeff. They'll look at a guy like Jeff and laugh at him and talk shit. That dude showed mad toughness because that dude was sick, bro. He literally did not have his voice, and this dude was ready to he getting his ass beat, yo. He is
the body shots, Julius. You don't take the body shots if you're not tough.
And he just kept trying, like he kept trying, and you gonna look at that and shit on that, like you don't know what that's to.
You got to give that man his respect, man. I mean, how can you laugh at somebody for that when he's doing that in that condition, man? It's like whatever, man. And
the reason I bring up Jeff is because, right? Look, Jeff had the Pacquiao fight. I didn't score it for Jeff. I scored it for Manny. But what I'm saying is, leading up to the fight, y'all thought he was cannon fodder. So did I. Y'all thought he was going to get turned into taco meat. So did I. Jeff showed his quality in that Pacquiao fight. That, bro, I'm a fighter, bro. I'm going to fight. I'm going to fight my ass off. But I'm going to fight the best way.
If he's not a fighter, he folds up in that 9th round when Pacquiao puts it on him.
Word. When the ref came over and he was like, you better show me something. I'm going to stop this fight. And
what did he do? He bit down on his mouthpiece and showed him something.
But we going to big up Keith Thurman for sitting out 2 years with tennis elbow.
But that's
the tennis elbow.
And I think they took a chance against Terrence Crawford.
Yeah. Go ahead, Punch.
Yo, but that's also the inconsistency of fans.
That's
inconsistency of fans is when a dude is when a dude is fighting, we want him to box. When a dude is boxing, he don't got no heart. It's like we got to make up our minds collectively as fans also what we really respect,
But Julius, why you always hating on my man Laura like that? Yeah.
No. I have always been balanced with Lara. I have said this many times. Do I consider Lara a highly skilled boxer? Absolutely. He is skilled. I don't take that away from him. I'm saying I don't like watching you. That's all. That don't mean you're not skilled.
You didn't like that Angulo fight.
Angulo made the fight though, bro. Who made the fight?
Hang on, hold on. The matchmaking made the fight. What about Paul Williams?
All right. All right. Lara fights that I enjoyed. Lara fights. Angulo, I enjoyed. P. Will, I enjoyed. Jared Hurd, I enjoyed. Brian Castaño, I enjoyed.
See, but when you match him right, and you might not have enjoyed it. I enjoyed the Canelo fight too.
I didn't enjoy that. I didn't enjoy that. Shit.
Fair enough. But point being,
you enjoy Ring It Down?
Rigging Down's another one. You gotta match Rigging Down.
Y'all not gonna do this to me. I was a Rigondeaux fan because Rigondeaux happens to have one of my favorite styles in boxing. He's a fucking counterpuncher. I love that shit.
I think Rigondeaux versus Pollito Ceja was a good fight.
No, pero Ceja, es que ese Rigondeaux, that's the one where they was fighting in the pocket, right? And Rigo was taking punishment.
Yeah, but was a very entertaining fight.
No, it was entertaining, pero es un Rigo que está demasiado viejo, que no tiene su piel. Like, bro, why are you letting this dude hit you? Like, if you want to trade in the pocket, go ahead. But you letting him hit you, bro. Like,
my man's old. My man's old. That's why. We all know what it is.
That's what I was alluding to, Doctor. Like, yo, if that fight was right, it's because
and most people think Rigo is over 40 right now.
Man, Rigo lo que tiene son 50 años, man. That dude is fucking old.
Yo, what do you
Tiene 1,000 years old. Like you, Julius.
Yo.
Tiene 1,000 years old. Rigo.
Ese tipo es un anciano, man.
Yo, what do you think about what Roy Jones said in that Breakfast Club interview when he was talking about fighters? He says there's a lot of good fighters, but there's no showmen in boxing.
That's true. Because
Blade Cobbs is a good showman. The John welterweight. Blade Cobbs is like he can talk and he can talk trash.
Look. He's not wrong, and it's because they are skewing the perception of the fighter. You see what I'm saying? They skewing the perception of the fighter. They're like, yo, I believe you gotta do what you comfortable with. If you comfortable shutting the fuck up, go ahead, shut the fuck up and just fight. If you comfortable talking shit, then talk your shit. You see what I'm saying? But these days, the reason you ain't got showmen is because the game is changing. Now it's not about the fighter, but the brand, the PBC brand.
Yeah, totally agree. There's a question for you, Julius, that says, how do you know Spanish so well? Are you a wizard? Eres dominicano, no?
Last I checked.
Metal arting is because Julius is dominicano. He speaks Spanish.
If I was over here speaking German and Russian, then I would say, oh, yeah, I'm a wizard, bro. But the truth is, I'm just Dominican. That's why. You know what I'm saying?
All right, I got a question. When Roy Jones said showman, is he talking about fighting skills in the ring, displaying his skills, or talking shit on the mic, or a
charisma? Man, he was talking about charisma.
He was talking about actually in the ring. He was talking about the Canelo Alvarez was that he's a good fighter, a great fighter, but he's not a showsman. And he was talking about the young fighters coming up, and he said that Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney, he thinks that they're gonna come up and they're like a showsman.
Teofimo is a showman.
Would you guys consider Crawford a showman?
No,
I consider Crawford. Who does Crawford remind me of the old school fighters? Like, only thing I could say about Crawford is, right, I appreciate his boxing so much that he get a pass for having the personality of warm oatmeal. I give him
same thing.
Because it's like if you see him in an interview, dog, it's like watching grass grow. Bro,
talking about oatmeal personalities, bro.
That's what I'm
Man,
saying. He's like
Miguel Berchel,
Yo,
bro, he has the personality of a bowl of oatmeal.
Bro, you would never
yo,
think.
four, 4
Go ahead,
o'clock
go
O
in
sea,
the
ahead.
yo
morning
soy
infomercials.
mexicano, hablo español y entiendo lo que dice Berchel, y Berchel no tiene personalidad, pero en lo
Es que,
absoluto.
mira, el
Yo,
alacrán, ¿verdad? You would never think que ese tipo es tan fucking violento si tú le hablas, porque si tú le hablas, he's like a fucking turtle. Like, you just have no fucking personality, bro.
He's
yo,
like, estamos entrenando muy duro para nuestra próxima pelea.
4 o'clock in the morning jewelry infomercials are more exciting than a Bill Crawford interview.
Yo, for real.
That's cool, man.
I tried to
Cool.
sit through the Breakfast Club interview, right, to hear Bud talk, and I liked some of what he said, but it's just he meant like I don't know. He looked. You know what it looked like? It looked like he don't like cameras because I seen like when he talked to people that he know, right? It's different. It's regular, but when you put a camera on him, he just dumb it down like, nah, I ain't gonna put on for y'all. I'm not gonna put on.
Hey, Julius, ¿te acuerdas de Miguel Cotto cómo hablaba en tercera persona? He said, Miguel Cotto está entrenando muy duro para su próxima pelea.
But I liked it. You know why I liked it? That shit. Me gustó esa vaina porque es tan vanidoso. No, porque el Miguel Cotto. I like that shit.
Hey, you want to hear my Canelo Alvarez impression a little bit?
Go ahead.
Ask me something in English.
So, Canelo, what do you think about Triple G's receding hairline?
No, pues el Triple G es un muy buen boxeador, ¿verdad? Pero pues
y Canelo no puede hacer entrevistas sin decir cuadrilátero. If you look at every fucking Canelo Alvarez interview, he says that shit at least 10 fucking times, B.
Cuadrilátero y no, pues este es un peleador muy bueno, pero pues vamos nosotros entrenando mejor, ¿vas?
Coro también Coro no tenía vergüenza hablar inglés.
No,
Like
No.
there's other dudes that could speak English, but they rather use the translator. Like Canelo understands English.
Oye,
He
bro,
rather-
eres puertorriqueño, ¿verdad? You're Puerto Rican?
Punch, you
Yo.
Puerto Rican, right?
No, dominicano, brasiliano y también chino también, si me quiere dar eso también.
Oye, pero hablas muy bien el español, hombre. Que felicidades. Porque ser bilingüe es difícil, ¿eh? Ser bilingüe es difícil.
Bueno, not really, no. No, look, most people don't realize this. I had to learn English, bro. Like,
No, because yo vivo en México y tuve que aprender inglés por una cuestión de neocolonialismo. But here in Mexico, the people that speak English is like, oh my God. But it's a pretty easy language to speak, you know?
Eso es como el alemán. El alemán es fácil aprenderlo porque se oye igualito como el inglés. Has the same breaks in the words if you pay attention. Pero el punto es que Canelo is missing out. I believe that Canelo is missing out on an entire demographic of people that he could appeal to if he would just nut the fuck up. And yo, don't feel embarrassed. Speak English, bro. Don't feel embarrassed. You got an accent. It's okay.
How
You know who was like that was Chavez Sr.
Turn
Yup.
it around.
No, pues fíjate la próxima pelea.
Don King tried moving heaven and earth to get it to get. You got like English instructors and everything trying to work around that. You're absolutely right.
And he should have, because if you hear Chavez in Spanish, like what fight was that, man? And he got pissed
Pero
off.
hablan de Chávez Jr. o Chávez Padre.
No, que nadie habla de
Chavez Sr.
Chávez Jr.
Chávez Jr. Ahí les va Chávez Jr. No, fíjate que la próxima pelea, pues vamos a estar haciendo una exhibición allá en Culiacán.
Yeah, but the minute he got mad at that ref, he's all fuck you.
Yo, dog,
He knew English real quick.
Yo, dog.
Bro, some Papa guy says Canelo sounds like Slowpoke Rodriguez. Bro, it's real. No, pues estamos entrenando duro, compi. Bro, for real, bro. Canelo sounds like Slowpoke Rodriguez.
I remember that. I
How
remember
about y'all
that.
flip? How about y'all flip it around? How about y'all flip it around and let's say if Danny Garcia learned how to speak Spanish or Ryan Garcia learned how to speak Spanish, what about the demographic in which they
Bro,
could match?
Danny Garcia,
Let me see it. Let me see it.
dime.
Ryan has a subculture, so it's not necessary. He appeals to el Chicano que lives in the Southwest and the West.
Más o menos, porque no es tan he's not Chicano, he's like a rich boy, I don't
No, él es
know.
como Selena Gomez,
Yeah, that's rich Chicano.
como Demi Lovato. Ryan Garcia is the Demi Lovato of boxing.
Because Ryan Garcia is not like Johnny Tapia. Johnny Tapia was a tough Chicano boy, you know. Ryan Garcia is a pretty boy.
See, Ryan is Ryan like Ryan is Charlie Sheen. He's Charlie Sheen. Charlie Sheen is Chicano. Ryan is Emilio Estevez.
Yeah.
He's Emilio.
So what's Fernando Vargas?
Fernando Vargas is Edward James Olmos.
I was very young in those times, but wasn't Fernando Vargas like a tough Chicano guy?
No, he was tough, bro. Let's say Fernando Vargas was Danny Trejo. Danny Trejo.
Yeah.
But too many wars.
Yeah, I mean, bro, they pushed they brought him up too fast. They brought him up too fast.
Take what he took from Felix and keep fighting the way he did. You got to be tough.
Bro, Felix beat the shit out of him, dog. Like, he beat the shit out of him, dog.
Y los mexicanos odian a Trinidad porque ningún mexicano pudo con él. No Mexican could beat Trinidad.
Word, man. Pero eso me da pena que el boxeo puertorriqueño is in the state that it's in. Because, like, Puerto Rico versus Mexico was always a dope rivalry.
The best rivalry in the sport.
Yeah.
Part of the reason for that was because back then, when we talked about some of the other hangouts, Madison Square Garden was called the Mecca of boxing. So you had a great population of both.
Mm-hmm.
And they put those fights on in the Garden, and easy money for the promoters.
What was the last Mexico versus Puerto Rico last great fight?
Tenía que ser, and I'm not going to say it was great, because to me it wasn't great. Pero Cotto con Canelo was the last big one.
Yeah.
Berchel versus Sosa.
Nah, no, tú sabes que.
Because I remember that PBC was marketing Guerrero versus Danny Garcia like a Mexico versus Puerto Rico.
Sí, pero tú sabes lo que esa pelea, they didn't have the air.
No.
They didn't have the air because tú sabías, like, you knew when Robert Guerrero was going to fight Danny, that Robert is past it because he was fighting Aaron Martinez before that, and he looked like doodle with Aaron Martinez.
Everybody gave Danny Garcia shit for the fact that he wasn't more decisive against Robert, to Julius's point.
Yeah, and with Jason, you already seen Jason get the shit beat out of him by Lomachenko, so it didn't have the air of the old of like, yo, when the guys have been built up properly, and now you're gonna unleash them on each other. It just didn't have that air.
Let's be honest. The sport as a whole, it just is not in the same place as it was, back in the day when you had the great, like you're saying, Mexico versus Puerto Rico rivalries that drew big. The sport's just not in that place. It's
not. The rivalry that we have to settle for now, which I think is a good rivalry, but it's really not equivocal, is Ukraine versus Russia. That's what we got.
Yeah.
Argentina versus Inglaterra.
Even then, how many Ukrainian and Russian fighters fight each other?
I don't know why, but in boxing and some sports, Argentina and England have some kind of rivalry.
Te voy a decir para la mujer.
That's because of soccer.
Para la mujer.
Because of the Falklands, man.
No. That's because of the World Cup. The English-Argentina rivalry started with the hand of God from
Hand of God. Hand of God.
Yep, that's true.
I'll say the Argentinian, I like on a smaller scale, because it is a smaller scale. It doesn't get the same airplay. Argentina versus Mexico, they have produced good fights.
Yo soy un pibe de Argentina, ¿sabes?
Los argentinos, lo que son italianos que hablan español, como
Sí,
Maradona.
yo pibe Argentina.
Somebody in the comments mentioned Mexico versus Japan.
Oh yeah.
At the lower weights, yeah, great rivalry at the lower weights.
Japan, Japan versus Thailand.
Pero me
To
gusta.
some extent.
I like the last couple of waves of Argentinian boxers, male and female.
Brian Castaño is a good fighter.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
When Argentina produce good boxers, they tend to produce really
Argentina boxers tend to be very hard hitters too.
They not that they tend to be able to take a goddamn punch. Like them motherfuckers is tough over there, man.
Yeah.
Look at Monzon, fam.
Fucking Monzon, Carlos Monzon. Shout out to the late great Carlos Monzon.
Oscar Bonavena.
Victor Galíndez, el Locomotora Castro.
Do you know who's the exception to the Argentinian rule, though?
Who?
Nicolino Loche.
Yeah, Loche.
Loche.
Because like he's just slick as can be, fam, and like he didn't hit that hard.
El Intocable.
Dude, he's like this. He looks like this old balding uncle of yours sitting there fucking.
He do though. He do.
Nicolino Loche looks like that shit from fucking Harry Potter.
Yeah. Bro, come on, yeah, that's right.
He kind of looks like the Sorting Hat from Harry Potter.
Oh shit!
But he do look like Voldemort, though, fam.
He look like him, dog. Like it's standing and everything. But he's one of the greats, man. You gotta love it.
Nicolino Loche always looked like a 55-year-old uncle.
Yeah,
bro, he was born with that bald spot. He didn't go bald. He came out like
Yeah, he looks like every pizza owner in a mafia movie, man. I'm telling you. He looks like every person who runs a pizza shop in a mafia movie.
Really? He looked like a skinny Danny Aiello with a bad haircut.
That's fucked up, Julius.
He looked like Danny Aiello.
That's fucked up, Julius.
Papa don't preach. Y'all not old like me. Y'all remember Danny Aiello was in that Madonna video.
How you gonna do looking like that, Julius?
To be fair, Julius, that's not an age thing. That's a lot of people don't really want to go and watch Madonna videos kind of thing.
Bro, if you was in my age, look, man, Madonna was the biggest slut when we was kids. You had to watch them. If you want to see thighs and a little bit of titty, you gotta watch a Madonna video.
If you watch any amount of MTV, Madonna was gonna run across the screen at some point.
Madonna was smoking hot at her prime, when she was like 26 years old.
Mm-hmm. She was a bad motherfucker, and if you want,
shout out to Olivia Newton-John and Let's Get Physical, fam.
Let's get
physical.
Sure. Oh yeah.
Do you think
we got the Pointer Sisters, Madonna, Olivia Newton-John.
Everybody showing their age tonight.
I'm so excited.
Bro, do you think White versus Povetkin, guys, was the KO of the year so far?
For me, it was.
Fuck yeah.
For me, it was. For me,
it definitely was. Yeah, it has to be.
What's beating that, fam?
Bro, I haven't reacted that way in a fight. I can't even remember. I think the last time I reacted like that was Ruiz Joshua. I was like, what the hell? What? Like,
this was a different type, though. Like, the Ruiz Joshua, like, it was the whole situation. With this, it was just out of fucking nowhere and dude gone. It was literally like 1 second. You know when you walk into a room and you just turn the light off? That's what happened.
Bro, I don't think we're gonna get a better. What fight could we possibly see before the year is out that's gonna give us a knockout? Like, bro, and the cool shit is, if you knew your boxing, if you knew about Povetkin, you knew that that shit could fucking happen, bro.
I told you that Povetkin was going to knock out White in a video. You could check it out.
No, I seen the comment. I seen it.
Yeah. If you want,
see, I had a 50-50, man. I thought it was 50-50, but I didn't expect that coming. But I had the same.
I was hesitant to pick him White, man.
I was with Povetkin since the beginning. Like, bro, if White wants to, have the exchange with Povetkin, oh boy, because Rivas dropped White,
I would
And
say
we
Mark,
must be seeing a hard puncher.
Junior's KO comes in second because that was beautiful. He landed a straight, then he landed a straight, then he landed the left hand, knocked him right out the fucking shit.
Yeah, but
Mark
Joe Smith Jr.
Mark
was like a
did a
work of
reaction video.
destruction.
Mark
was
did a reaction
destroying.
video, and it was him, Johnny Boy, and another guy, and they were yelling the exact same way I was.
But Joe Smith Jr. was destroying.
My DAZN was about 10 seconds behind Beats of Sky Sports. When he reacted, at first I thought he was trolling or something. I'm like, no way, because how one-sided the fight had been to that point.
And that's what makes it so insane, dog.
Julius, full screen me for a sec.
Oh no!
Right. Y'all are asking, is that KO of the year, right? Look at this dude. Look at his arms crossing over, ready to go into a coffin the second he's stiff. He's gone. He's gone the second it lands. Povetkin's turning away, walking off. He's like, I've won.
Asking about the KO. Asking about the KO. I forgot whose quote this was, right? I can't remember. But the week after, a couple of days after, this is a trainer who said this, but I just can't remember his fucking name. He said that, that the left uppercut is usually the weakest punch that, most fighters that I know, their left uppercut, they tell me that that's their weakest punch. And he made light of that to say that White lost too much weight too fast. What y'all think about that?
Camp could have been.
Can I say something on that?
Go ahead.
Mark's got like 20 angles of this.
White lost, what was it? 29 pounds? 19 pounds? What was it?
I don't know.
He was 271 for VAC, right?
Yeah.
So he's 252 against Povetkin. So he lost 19 pounds. Now, I was over on the Sky Sports thing, like watching all of the training shit, all of the things and what they were talking about. And Tony Bellew said White was training for 4 months and he lost it gradually. So the weight that he lost was over a 4-month period, that was when he entered camp. He had already lost, according to Bellew, 6 pounds before that. So I don't think the weight came off too fast. I don't think at that size and that width, 19 pounds changes something. Because I'll be honest with you guys, I'm tall, I'm quite large. I can go on a few jogs and lose 10 pounds in like a week. I can drop 10 pounds in like 5 days with just like cutting my calorie intake a bit and taking a few shits.
What do you make of the shortness? What do you make of the shortness? Because like that punch was so fucking short. Like it was one of the shortest punches I've seen in recent. How could you generate that much fucking power?
It's relaxed attention. Alexander Povetkin's one of the he has really fast fiber twitch.
Bro,
you've seen him do. Julius, have you or have you not seen him jump into the pocket and from a short range while he's within the pocket, literally just flick a shot up and knock people out with the hook without winding it? He does it all the time.
Yeah, like legit, like that ain't cap. Like that's legit. Like Povetkin has always thrown these retarded, tight, short fucking like it's almost like he taps the guy and the guy go out.
Let me say something. Like look at Teofimo, right? So Teofimo, when he lands is like on full extension, he doesn't actually hurt people as much. Look at the Nakatani fight. The reason he didn't actually knock out Nakatani was because every time he was landing was at full extension. When Teofimo throws his shots, once they get to like half extension or 3/4 extension, that's when they're at their most explosive. Povetkin's pretty much the same. Once he's at 50%, bam, in there, that's it. You're gone.
Because they're punching through the target.
Exactly.
And because Povetkin lastimó a Joshua con un golpe similar.
Sí, y por eso es que yo digo que esa vaina, ese rumor que ese tipo no puede aguantar puño, that's bullshit, bro. He ate a fucking clean left hook from Povetkin, broke his nose and
that was
through it.
I don't know what
that was 2020's down goes Frazier moment. You know,
we're talking about AJ's chin.
Different type of shot though. Povetkin was off. Povetkin, right? So let me say one important thing. Povetkin, when he landed that shot, he was only on his right foot. His left foot was off of the ground. Right against White, both his feet were actually planted.
I'll give you that, but when he caught Pricey with the shot, I don't even remember his feet being on the goddamn canvas.
They were both on the canvas. He caught him with the right hook. Pricey was shook, and right then he planted both of his feet. Watch it, and he kind of squats and up through with the squat. That's what he did.
Pricey was out on his feet, and my man took the time, like you just said, to plant his feet and just viciously
plant his feet and explode right through that motherfucker.
I
bro.
just remember he caught him with a shot. Pricey just stood there. He was out.
He's out on his feet.
Yeah.
Bro, watch it. Look at it again. You can see like the blood start to seep from his face.
Yeah, remember Mortal Kombat? You
Finish him.
Yeah, and he's just the guy staggering. That's what Povetkin did. Then he fucking pulled his spine out.
Do you guys think that Povetkin's body shots opened White up for that uppercut?
Yes, yeah. You watch the replay.
Yes.
When Povetkin goes to throw the uppercut, Dillion's dropping the right elbow to block a body shot.
He was trying to anticipate the left hook that kept going to the body.
Yep.
You see, Povetkin fired it off a good few times. That was clever and it was calculated. And Povetkin fainted that shit, man.
That was like an upper hook, wasn't it, Mark? Almost? Like a 45?
Yeah.
I'll say.
Yeah, and it was short, boy.
It's a thing of beauty, bro. It's a thing of beauty.
Rematch. I don't know what to think of because I'm like, I just remember this is a goddamn fight that Dillian kind of had in the bag. So it's like, bro, like what you was doing was actually fucking working. So what the fuck can you change? Like, what do you do differently?
Maybe boxing more behind the jab.
Like Atlas was saying, you don't let him get that close. You don't let him get that fucking close.
You know what? Yeah. Straight punches. Don't hook
with
the hooker. Straight punches. Don't hook with the hooker.
You take the other thing, by the way, is you know what that, by the way, where it was, he gave Povetkin too much space. He gave him space to move.
I'd love to see a fight between Povetkin and Andy Ruiz Jr.
I don't think Povetkin can get Andy out of there.
I don't think Andy deserves a shot at a free man.
Oh no, absolutely not. But
no,
I think
but just
because
right
of
now,
the styles will be a good fight.
This
not right now. It wouldn't be. Povetkin's on a high win. Andy, what would be a good fight for Andy would be like he's coming off of a loss. Rivas is coming off of a loss.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
That'd be nice. That's a good fight. That's some good matchmaking, Mark. I like it.
No, that is a good fight, but in that fight, I might actually go Andy because I think Rivas will outwork him, and then Andy had just hit him with some stupid shit. It just hit him with some stupid shit out of nowhere. I could see it happening like that.
Rivas don't got that kind of reach to try to just keep Andy out all night like AJ did in the rematch.
I think what's going to happen in that fight is they're both going to be living on each other's chest, throwing punches, man, and somebody's going to go.
Yeah,
and I think Rivas is like the same height of Mike Tyson. He's like very short for heavyweight.
Yeah, he's not a big guy. He has to get in the pocket to do anything. And if you in the pocket with Andy,
boy,
the better of that. He gonna get the better of that.
Yeah. Hands are too fast. His hands are too fast for
Andy's drawback isn't his hands. This is goddamn feet. That's Andy's drawback is goddamn feet.
Yeah.
Do you know who could be a nightmare for Andy Ruiz? Like straight up, Michael Hunter, man. He could be.
He would tee off on him. He would tee off on him.
Oh, the hand and foot. Yeah. He's gonna be giving him angles on that. Giving him angles on that.
Michael Hunter's reach is deceptive, mate.
It's not just the reach though. It's that he has the athleticism. Like he has the range of motion. That bro, this dude is gonna be giving you different angles all fucking night, bro. He's gonna go up top. He's gonna go downstairs. It's all gonna be straight punches. He's not gonna mix it up with you in the pocket. It's all gonna be straight punches. He got a good stab to the body.
Yeah, totally. And like another fight that will be great statistically. Derek Chisora versus what's the name of the namer? Arreola. Derek Chisora versus Chris Arreola.
Arreola needs to sit down.
I don't want to see Arreola doing no more shit. Like, bro, like, look, man. He looked it good against who? Adam Kovnowski, bro.
I want to see Arreola versus Eric Molina in a battle to the death.
Puerto Rico versus Mexico rivalry.
No, Eric Molina is Mexican too, I believe.
He is?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Eric Molina is Chicano.
Ah, shit. Drummer
but
boy.
yeah, it will be the battle for the brain damage.
Yo, let them go at it,
I thought he was Boricua.
I thought he
Eric
was. Oh shit.
Eric Molina, Boricua, maybe.
He was Boricua, wasn't he?
He looks it.
I'll look
Let
it
me
up.
check.
Guy.
Let me check the comments. Let me check the comments.
I'll
Bro,
look it up. I'll look it
No,
up.
nobody's talking about Molina, but
Bro, listen,
I
man.
always
Nobody
believe he
wanna
was
watch
Mexican.
Eric Molina. Nobody want to watch Eric Molina, bro. All right, you want to make a special fight? You make fucking Robert Hellenius, Otto Verline for the
Oh,
who lives in the coldest country belt. Who country is colder?
Hey,
My
at
lord.
this rate, you just may see that belt, Julius. They
Real
might make
shit.
it.
Otto Wallin versus Derek Chisora.
That's a good fight.
Oh shit, BoxRec ain't no help. It just says
No,
he's
no, no.
American.
I'm gonna tell ya,
Born in Texas.
Alan Babich, Abdi Daftaev for the hospital bill belt. That's a good ass fight. Alan Babich for the concussion belt against Abdi Daftaev.
Bro, I'll tell you the fight we need, Julius. We need Arslanbek Makhmadov versus Filip Hrgovic for the fuck off belt, man.
For the fuck off belt. For the
That
fuck
fight
off
is
belt.
just a big fuck off. Like, and
That's
when I
for
say
the
a big
internal
fuck,
bleeding belt. That's for the internal bleeding belt.
that's not even internal bleeding, bro. That's for the banning of boxing belt.
Yeah. Oh shit! I really hope they let Arslan Beck have a couple of fights in the States, man. I really do. They might though. He's a what? Who's he with?
Yvonne.
Yeah, Yvonne, and Yvonne is cool with motherfucking Top Rank right now.
I'm assuming he's with Yvonne because he's in Canada and he's with Mark Ramsey.
Somebody told me he's with Golden Boy. Since when does Golden Boy have heavyweights?
Golden Boy have anybody?
Yeah, I mean, because I know they had shit, but I mean, like, when's the last time Golden
¿No tienen
Boy?
ellos al cubano este que dice que tiene 27 años?
Frankie
No, ¿verdad?
Sanchez?
¿No tienen a Sánchez? They don't have Sanchez, Golden Boy?
No,
No, he's PBC.
Okay, okay.
But he trains with who does he train with? Mundo? Is he with Mundo? I think he's with Mundo.
Mundo, you mean Callum Smith?
No, Mundo Boxing.
Okay.
The gym he trains out of. I think he's because he's in a good gym. I remember I think it's Mundo. And I was like, oh, that's a good gym. No wonder he's all right.
So
defensively, he can be caught though, but offensively, yeah, I like watching him.
he was okay. So in his last fight in Makhmadov, he was fighting in Quebec, and it was Eye of the Tiger Management. Camille Estefan was the promoter.
All right, that's good. That's good. Then Camille Estevan and Eye of the Tiger, they got dealings with Golden Boy because that's why David Lemieux is low key a Golden.
Yeah, it was on the David Lemieux card.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on. He's been on. Yeah, I think he's Golden Boy. Yeah, it's Eye of the Tiger. Yeah. All of this is like
great
associated.
fight at 168, David Lemieux versus Chris Eubank Jr.
What?
That's if I'm being honest, that's a good fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Chris isn't the greatest boxer, and he may just try tee off on David and get caught with some funny shit.
And make it for the WBC title. Make it for the WBC title, and we have a big fight there.
The fight that I wanted not 2 years ago, I'm gonna say a year and a half ago, was David Lemieux with John Ryder. I wanted that. And no, they were gonna make it, but
you always say David Lemieux.
Yo le digo David Lemieux.
Lemieux, yo le digo Lemieux, and
Lemieux.
They made the fight though, and
because ya me di cuenta que te gusta deformar los nombres un poco.
Sí, por eso es que yo digo Mikaela Mayer.
Saúl Canelo
Alvarez o Abu Sanchez.
A mí me que dijiste Vasquez.
Yo, every time I do that shit, all the Spanish people in the comments get mad. Like, what you mean Vasquez? It's not a W. I be fucking up the names on purpose, and they be thinking that like I'm doing it on purpose. Like I know it's not Sam Chaz, it's Sanchez, but I'm gonna say Sam Chaz because
Sí, sí, ya dije así como, pero you speak Spanish while you saying Vasquez, but luego leí que Mark dijo, es que te gusta destruir los apellidos.
I get Julius's sense of humor. He's got a fucked up sense of humor like I do.
Aquí en México, a los hermanos Charlo le dicen Charlotte.
Oh shit!
Chalupa.
I just like fucking up people's names, man.
Oh, chalupa is a nice Mexican dish. Delicious.
Yeah, but you get Charlo involved. It's a Charlupa.
Chalupa.
They're Cuban, I believe. The
Charlo es cubano?
I believe they are. Yeah.
Okay.
Ese nombre de Charlo, eso no es American. That's not an American name.
Oye, chico, que yo soy de Cuba, chico.
They were always in the camp with Laura then.
El que sabía que es cubano, Peter Quillen, is Cuban.
Yeah, I knew Peter Quillen was Cuban. That's why he called himself.
They were making an interview and they asked something in Spanish. Que ese coño, que yo estoy entrenando duro, tú sabes, para la siguiente pelea.
Sí. I knew that about Quillen. But I think, I'm not sure, just fact check me, but I believe that the Charlo brothers are Cuban.
¿Te sale el acento cubano, Julius?
Es un acento que de verdad yo no lo conozco porque en Nueva York tú no conoces mucho cubano.
No solo están en Miami, no los cubanos.
Bro, you will bump into 20 Liberians, 30 Nigerians, 50 Pakistani, a million Dominicans, but a Cuban is if you're not in Miami, they hard to find, man.
Es que en Miami yo cuando fui, sí hablan un poquito ahí los cubanos, tú sabes, chicos, que nos vamos para allá.
El cubano habla como que tiene comida en la boca.
Sí.
Speaking of the Cuban fighters, I got a question for you, Julius, because you tend to know a lot about this stuff. What is up with the from just outside looking in? Because I can't stand getting into that deep into it. What is up with the fucked up promoters that they end up with, like Kareem, for example?
Well, you talking about the Cuban fighters, right?
Yeah. They seem to end up in these really bad,
it's because they come here with wide eyes. It's because they come here with wide eyes, and they're easily manipulated. You understand? It's the Johnny Foreigner type thing, to where they don't really know what they're getting into, so they don't know to be wary of shit. So they end up in these dick in the booty promotional, like Dada promotions or Dada.
Kareem is like the one that I've seen a whole bunch, and it's like, dude, why do these guys keep going with Kareem and then they don't get any fights that mean anything? You know, that's what Rigo. That's who was moving Rigo for a long time. Yeah, if I remember. Right.
Yeah. And what's that guy's name? De Jesus? That he's like the Cuban liaison to all the Cuban PBC fighters.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about. Oh shit. Yeah. I know who you're talking about. Fuck.
I have an uncle living in Vancouver, Canada, and he's named Jose de Jesus, but he says people in Canada call him Jose de Jesus.
De Jesus, like it's one word.
Isn't it like Louis de Jesus or something like that?
Luis Cuba. Yeah. Luis.
Yeah. Like you said, he's like the mouthpiece for a lot of them. But he seems like more like a mouthpiece for, I think, Kareem or some shit. You know. I don't know. It just seems like they really seem to consistently get the short end in terms of the promoters they end up with.
Who you would say was the last Cuban boxing superstar, guys?
Oh God.
There never was one.
There never was one, bro.
Gamboa? You look at Gamboa,
No.
Not
a superstar, bro.
See, on the cusp of Gamboa becoming a pound-for-pound sweetheart, I think that was what? Before the Darlise Perez fight? And he just never blew. Like, he never blew. He was exciting, but he never blew.
But maybe he was the closest thing to a Cuban superstar, maybe. Gamboa.
Savon is the closest thing to a Cuban superstar. He wasn't.
Yeah, Felix Savon, but he was only an Olympian.
Yeah, I know, but he's the closest thing to it. Him and Teofilo Stevenson, they're the two biggest names.
Let me address this Magic Johnson. I said I think, you fucking troll. You up late listening to me, bro. I said I think they Cuban, because that last name is, I know that last name don't originate in the States. Charlo?
Bro, don't, bro.
You right. I just gotta.
You're responding to a man
I just
who's
gotta say
online late at night with the name of a basketball player who's been irrelevant for 30 years with HIV.
Oh boy.
that's real shit. Like you right, Mark. I gotta stop giving these.
Yeah. There are too many fucked up jokes that may come flying out of my mouth.
Don't feed the trolls.
You right.
Yes.
Absolutely right. Absolutely.
Kosei Tanaka versus Kazuta Yoka. Who you got?
You already know what I got.
He's got
You already know.
Ioka, bro. How many times I gotta tell everyone? He's got Ioka.
But do you think he's gonna? Nah, in all seriousness, do you think the fight happens? Because I vaguely recall hearing that Kosei might stay down there.
I just opened the Pandora's box.
Did you hear about that, Mark?
I did hear about that, but according to like Asian boxing, like you know the dude over at Asian boxing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was saying that like it'll either be September or December, and they're really talking hard about that.
That's good. Because I wondered about. Because I haven't. You know, boxing scene. They don't talk about none of that shit. They rather.
Yeah,
talk
I know.
about
Can you do me a
anybody
favor,
else.
real fast, Julius? Can you
Good.
full screen me real fast? Because this is a reality, guys. Mike Tyson, Bianca puts up
Fuck out of here.
Oye, pero no fue Kosei Tanaka también campeón en 3 divisiones,
Sí, y esta va a ser la cuarta.
pero tan rápido como Lomachenko, ¿no? Creo.
Te estoy diciendo, si él le gana a Ioka, este tipo va a ser historia. He's gonna make history, bro. Kosei Tanaka.
Hey, Mark, you understand Spanish, do you?
I'm from Ireland.
He's got no clue what he is.
No, you don't.
But you understand Spanish. You know
Bro,
what
there
we're
might be
talking about.
50 Spanish people living in my country total.
But you understand Spanish. You know what we're talking about or what?
I hear Kazuto Ioka, Kosei Tanaka. Sure, I understand that you're talking about 2 Japanese guys,
Okay.
Yeah.
but I don't understand any of the Spanish words. No.
I can kind of catch the gist.
Mark understands the shit, dog. You think he don't understand? Like he knows that shit.
He's playing. Mark's playing dumb. Is that it? Is that what's going on?
Mark is like fucking Julio Iglesias over there, man.
Yeah. And Kazuto's so beautiful to me, fam. Get away.
¿Sí sabes de dónde es Julio Iglesias, Julius? ¿De qué país es?
España, ¿no es verdad?
Pero porque yo soy de España.
Nah,
tío.
yeah, he's pretty good, man.
Yo soy Julio Iglesias, tío.
Bro,
Motherfucker talking about all the girls he's loved before and shit.
Yo entiendo poquito, pero no suficiente.
Fuck this shit, man. Couldn't have taught it.
Yeah, you can flirt with Mexican ladies with that Spanish. It's enough.
Okay.
Who else thought that?
Have you seen Dan? Have you seen Colombian ladies, bro? They are beautiful, but Argentina ladies, bro, are on another level.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Argentinian ladies I've seen, they faces be shaped like.
Here in la Ciudad de Mexico, in Mexico City, there's a neighborhood called La Condesa. And there are a lot of Argentina girls living in La Condesa. I don't know why, but they are beautiful, bro.
A lot of them are mixed with Argentine and Italian.
Yeah.
I mean, German and Italian.
With that little Spanish you speak, you are flirting with Argentina ladies without a trouble.
But I'm gonna say, who else thought that the card this morning? Well, I know it wasn't morning for some of you. For Mark, I don't think it was in the morning, right? The Jeff Horn Tim Zoo card.
Bro, that shit was still in the morning, bro.
It was in the morning.
It was like 11 a.m.
So what you think of Tim, man? That shit was wild, man. He beat the.
I have 2 takes on it. He looked spectacular. Horn looked shot as shit.
You think? Do you think he shot or do you think he was sick?
I think he was shot. Look, I watched both the Zarafa fights back to back. I saw how much damage he took.
He did. He took a lot.
I also know how many fights outside of Mundine, back to back to back, he's had that have been really hard. He's an old 32. Jeff Horn's not good enough to not have had a hard fight in all of his fights throughout his career. That's a reality.
Even the Corcoran fight was a hard fucking fight.
It was really hard. He hasn't had an easy night's work. He's had a Carson Jones Kell Brook fight his whole career.
Yeah. Honestly,
All right, I got a question for you guys. Who do you want to see Tim Zoo fight that you
Anthony
think is going to
Fowler.
be a real
The
great
winner, the
challenge?
winner of Castaño versus Teixeira.
No, that's too much. That's
I
Brian.
want him to fight, honest to God, Michael Zarafa.
Nah, man.
No. Because Horn looks shot after that. Zarafa doesn't look shot.
I want if I'm being honest.
He's a taller, longer guy. He represents more problems and he's a good straight puncher.
I just want to see the CBD oil guy fight fucking Tim Zoo.
Bro,
man.
okay, I'll tell you what. How about this? Tim Zoo can go and fight Anthony Fowler on one condition.
All right.
He can get past Sergio Garcia.
Nah, bro.
What
Why
do you think about
not?
Tim
Why don't you want to put him in there
What's
with Sergio
wrong with
Garcia?
that? What's wrong with that?
No. It's not put. It's that I think the order's messed up. I would say you put him in there with Fowler and then he fights Sergio.
Oh no, I think this is the order. I think he should go in, right? And honestly, I think he should go and he should fight Fowler, right? Yeah. Then he should fight Castaño Teixeira. Then he should fight Charlo. If he gets then Sergio Garcia, because that dude will fuck them all up.
I think Kell Brook is a good fight, maybe for Tim Zoo.
I think that
Kell Brook's fighting against fucking Crawford.
All right. I'm saying that a good match where there's gonna be some where we see more of his boxing and not just but more of his boxing. Brook would be a good match. It would be a good match. Brook is a good boxer. He doesn't get enough credit for his boxing. Like, he literally doesn't. But he's actually he's really good. And Tim is not a big 154. He's not Brandon Adams, but he definitely ain't Jared Hurd.
I don't think he hits that hard, man.
You don't think he hits that hard?
Well,
no.
Yeah, I think Brook's skill is what kept him in there as long as he did with Spence.
Yeah.
Well, the mistake, and he made the mistake. I was just watching that fight again the other day, and I concluded he came in there trying to knock Spence out from the get-go.
Yeah,
and that's another reason why down the stretch Spence took over, because he instead of just letting the knockout come if it was going to come in boxing, he was literally trying to knock Spence out from the jump.
Yeah, came out aggressive, but he won rounds. He won rounds.
Yeah. He was clipping Spence.
Fuck you, Mark. I'm not.
What's that, Julius?
I'm not going full screen, bro. Like, you're not going full screen. You better change that shit.
Oye, Julius, ¿conoces a un...
Do you want me to do what Doc has?
You better not.
I know how. I figured it out the other day.
I swear to God, you better not.
Hey, Julius, do you know one boxing streamer that is called IBFP?
Yeah, I know IBFP.
Oye, que yo me he dado cuenta que tiene una preferencia muy fuerte por Canelo, ¿no?
Bueno, look, let's in the spirit of full transparency, if IBFP is a big Canelo Alvarez fan, right, and he can make an argument that is a cohesive argument, then it's fine. I do that with Crawford. Like, I admit that, yeah, I'm a big Crawford fan. But I'm not just a fan. I will argue in his behalf with arguments that make sense. So if IBFP has a similar situation going on with Canelo, I don't knock him. Just be able to defend your points. Just be able to defend your points, because that's all it's about. It's just
because he was like defending him with that Abini Ilbrin fight. Like, man, you can defend that. That was
no
crap.
For me, look. If and that fight's not gonna happen. Like, but I said that. I said that. Like, bro, they could pick Yildirim. The zone is not gonna give you $35 million to fight Yildirim. And the day after that, the news broke. Yo, the zone does not approve of that fight, bro. They're not gonna pay you that to fight him. I'm sorry.
Do you think Canelo is fighting this year?
Well, they're saying that they're back in deep talks to fight either Billy or Callum in November. That's
all right. That's fine.
And that's fine. I'll take it.
I accept it.
I'll take it. I really, if I'm being honest, I want to see a good fight that's entertaining, because that's what is needed right now. So I would prefer Callum.
Callum, because I think Billy Joe Sanders it's a very dangerous fight.
Not dangerous. I think Billy, if Billy really has his legs under him, which some people don't even believe he does anymore, and I understand where they're coming from, but if he does have his legs under him, it's gonna be an ugly fight. It's just gonna be an ugly fight.
Look,
So
I'm gonna
if
say
we're
something.
I
talking-
think Billy Joe Saunders has all the tools to beat Canelo.
I think Billy Joe
Yeah.
Saunders is the UK Tank Davis.
Oh,
Oh, bro, no chill.
Oh, Mark with the RKO out of nowhere.
I'm sick to death of Billy Joe, fam.
Carlos Valenciano says Canelo is fighting November 20. You know why November 20? Pues, ¿sabes
Why?
por qué van a pelear en noviembre 20? Because es el día de la Revolución Mexicana.
Okay.
I don't know what he said. I heard, was that like Mexican Revolution or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know
Well, here-
Spanish.
No, I don't. Bro, you said revolution and Mexican in the sentence.
No, I'm joking. I'm kidding. I'm just kidding, bro.
The version of Billy Joe that has a chance against Cannoli is nasal spray Billy Joe.
Yes, and that's
Spray
not the
Billy
Billy
Joe.
that we got. That's not. I don't know that that's the Billy that we got.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so right now at 168, who has a chance of beating Canelo?
I'll give you the exact person who's capable of beating him at 168. Are you ready?
Who?
Yeah.
Bivol if he moves down. The rest of them don't have
Yeah.
a chance.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I agree.
I agree with it. Like, shot luck, and I gotta appreciate Dimitri Bivol for a minute. Can I do that, guys?
Yeah, Yoka Great and Tanaka. Go ahead.
Fuck you. Dimitri, you see how Joe Smith Jr. is tearing everything up? You see how Jean Pascal's out here beating these young guys, these young Olympians? My fucking guy Bivol, man. He beat both those guys. He beat both those guys easy, man. My fucking guy, man. They don't.
You know why Joe Smith Jr. You know why Joe Smith, going back to something we said earlier, you know why Joe Smith Jr. Fought as well as he did against Alvarez is because of the fights with guys like Barrera. We got his ass whooped.
Yeah.
And
Joe
learned. Man has learned from that shit.
And I'll say that if I'm being honest, Joe looked put together in the Jesse Hart fight, and he looked even more put together in the fucking, like, he's really coming together as a pressure guy.
You see Bivol beating Better Beer?
I do.
I take it. I take Bivol in that fight. In that fight. I like his legs for the fight.
Because Better Beer is like in his mid-30s or something like that.
Better Beef is about to be 36 years old out here.
Bro, he's like not that young anymore.
And he don't even have 20 fights, does he?
No, he don't. He literally, that's why I said that.
Boxing's gotten fucking weird with that shit. I'm seeing like that Babbage guy's like 30 years old. He's had 4 fights.
Bro, I said that this was the conversation literally that we had before, that this was the scenario. This literally was the scenario that I was talking about, that if it was sooner than later, then yeah, maybe it favors Better Beef, but it's not. And the longer it takes, the more it favors Bivol.
Bro.
Hey, Mork, you're asking for it, Mork.
What the fuck? I couldn't even see that shit. I was like, what the fuck?
Carlos Valenciano says Better BF is the Russian Darius Michalski. Who's that guy?
I don't know.
Michael Zuski. Well, that's how I always heard it pronounced. It's the guy that
Michalski, Darius Michalski, former lineal light heavyweight champion.
Yeah, the guy that Roy Jones was. Everyone wanted him to fight, but it didn't happen. Yeah,
you mean the guy who ducked Roy Jones?
I think that Better Beef's career, it didn't. Well, like there's so much that was going on with Better Beef's career that people don't realize. Like, for example, Better Beef was an Yvonne Michelle fighter, right? At that time, Yvonne Michelle was doing a lot of business with the PBC. I remember reading that a big part of why Better Beef wanted to get away from Yvonne, which took a while, is because he wasn't getting the fight dates. He wanted to fight more often, and they didn't keep him busy enough. That's a part of the reason he wanted to get the fuck up out of there. That took time. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that he got to really. I just don't think we got to see the best of him. I think the best that we're ever gonna see of him was the Vosdick fight.
Yeah, you just took the words out of my mouth. That's most likely the case, especially with the style of fighter that he is.
Yeah,
He's gonna get hit. He's gonna get hit.
and it's gonna feel different. Like I was looking at Fan Long Meng, right? And this is gonna sound stupid, but I felt a part of me in my foot was like, yo, why do I feel like Fan Long is a banana peel? And Fan Long don't look that good, but I watched him. I'm like, yo, why do I feel like he's gonna be a banana peel when they
Because
you're
Beterbiev
looking for
has
things.
been dropped before, you know.
He has 2 times. He got dropped by Callum Johnson, and I forgot who it was before that. Jeff Page.
The guy that
No, it's
looked
not
like
nobody, if I remember right.
the guy that looked like a giant Kate Turman.
Yo,
Oh,
hold on. That's fucking funny, man.
Do you remember who I'm talking about? I don't know, remember the
Jeff
name, but
Page.
he looked like a big Walmart version of Kate Turman. I don't remember the name.
Shit. Brief Thurman.
Brief.
Brief fucking Thurman.
the Waldo's version of Kate Turman.
Oh shit, man. But yeah, I think it's sad, but I honestly believe that perhaps we've seen the very best we're ever gonna see a Beterbiev, and it seems like a short career.
Hey, question for you guys. Somebody did I glanced at it, but somebody did a video where I think this dude was like a 19-year-old kid in a lower weights, and he's like only had like about 5 or 6 fights and is a world champion. Do you guys know who that is?
Jose Tanaka.
Kosei
Tanaka,
Tanaka, man. He was 19 years old when he became only 5 fights. When he
You
became
saw
a
that
world
video
champion.
at Hancho Boxing, don't you?
No, I already knew that.
Yeah.
No, but I'm talking about Dan. Dan watched that.
Hancho finally made a video about Kosei. He did. I seen that he posted about it on Twitter.
Do you have
Yeah,
Jose Tanaka on the pound for pound list, Julius?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kosei's in the lower tier.
I just gleaned over it. That's why I didn't have the specifics, because I just briefly looked for a second and then moved on.
Kosei's gonna make boxing history, man. He's gonna do it. The Japanese Dragon Gods is on his side. And that's all there is to it.
Okay, Julius, you are with Kosei Tanaka, and Mark is with Yoka.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, I think it's gonna be a draw.
But to Mark's credit,
Mark, stop trying to steal my wizardly secrets.
Look,
I do actually know how to do that. I just used the screenshot version.
Look, all I'm saying is I understand why Mark is such a big fan of Kazuto because, because
I've watched all of his fights.
No, it's not like if you know, even if you just know of Kazuto, you gotta like this guy's career. But because the cocksucking American media, God, I hate these fucking pound for pound lists. I really do. I really fucking do. I hate the men's one. I hate the women's one they just put out. Oh my God, that shit hurts my eyes.
Oye, Julius, ¿quién no quiso pelear con quién? ¿Roy Jones con Darius o Darius con Roy Jones?
Darius took Roy Jones.
Oh, okay.
How much of it is the media and how much of it is the fact that, let's be honest, if you come in there and try to really put a fighter of any notoriety on the spot, you ain't getting another interview. That's just the way it is nowadays. You know what I mean? They're not going to allow you to say, hey, you must. They're not going to allow you to come up in an interview with Spence and be like, that you must fight Crawford, right?
It's backwards, Doc. It's backwards because the point of the list is to shed light on the lighter fighters that have quality.
Oh, hang on. Let me make sure. I was talking about just media in general. The media coverage of boxing. Like, if you try to put pressure on these guys, the promoters are just going to cut you out of the picture. For the most
they
part,
will, and that's the problem. That the power is uneven because the media and the journalists should be able to cover the sport evenly, but they don't because they want to maintain network relationships. That's why you see guys kissing ass to get exclusives and shit like that.
Softball, man, it's softball.
Yeah, You know, like that, because that's the way it is now. You don't have a guy that's gonna run around grilling people and asking them shit that they don't want to answer. You don't have that guy. It don't happen no more. You got Ellie Sec back. Mark, what's Mark's favorite shit to say about Ellie? Go ahead, Mark. What's the shit you be saying about Ellie? The kind of questions that he be asking.
Hey, yo, Rolly, that's a nice kind of watch you got there. What kind of watch is that?
That's what I'm saying. Exactly.
I can't do it how he do it. I had to let him.
Did you buy your shoelaces at Foot Locker?
That's the type of shit he be asking, though.
Ellie Sackback es like como... A ver, Julio, si me puedes ayudar con esta traducción, que Ellie Sackback es como el chico nerd que cree que juntarse con los cool lo hace cool.
Yeah. Like he trying to be, like Ellie just trying to be, and I don't knock him because I do believe he has a great work ethic for what it's worth.
Yeah,
I respect his work ethic a lot. But as far as when I need information, I don't go to Ellie. Like,
do you know what Ellie is, Julius?
He's a roadie.
No, I'll tell you what he is though. You remember back at school, right? Do you remember that one kid who was always buddying up with teacher and the principal and all that shit, right? And then come like recess time, would try and be cool with everybody else and got punched in the face and thrown off walls. That's Ellie Sackback.
Yeah.
That is who he is.
Like I gotta, cause he's a pioneer. He, you know, like I really respect the guy. It's just that if I'm a boxing fan and I want information, I can't get it from Ellie, bro. All you gonna talk to me about is what kind of sandwich Mikey Garcia.
Here's what I would say about Ellie Sackback is, and this is again, like you're saying, no knock against him, but he is symptomatic of the problem.
Yeah,
he's not the problem himself. He's a symptom, a byproduct, if you will.
Yeah, because he amassed a very large following by asking the most arbitrary and meaningless questions that surface nothing. Like I don't want to know if Robert Garcia had potato salad.
But he's got access as the result. You follow? I mean, that's the reality. That's why he's got the access he does. You know what I mean?
Y siempre que tiene la oportunidad de entrevistar a Chávez Senior odia a Ellie Sackback.
Really? I didn't know that.
Check for those interviews with Chávez Senior, Ellie Sackback, and Chávez Senior, and look at Chávez Senior facial expression. It's like, bro, just stop.
I actually remember those, man.
Bro, it's like Chávez Senior is eating, and Ellie Sackback asking, "Can you make Mark the Ellie Sackback impression, please?"
Go ahead, Mark.
I don't even know what question he was asking him, bro.
Ask him about food. Just ask him about some food. Ask him like, what
and Chávez Senior was like, déjame comer ya, por favor.
He was probably asking him like, what type of fucking seasoning do you use or some shit like that.
Yo, but that's legit the shit that he asked though, and it's like, bro, come on.
Checa cuando pones esos videos, Julius. Ellie Sackback interviews Chávez Senior y ve el rostro.
Chávez be face palming like he did in the Junior Jacobs fight, man.
I found it here, right?
Oh, yeah, that face palm is epic. He's like, oh, please, stop this son, please. That's not my son.
I watched Chavez. I watched Joshua versus Ruiz with the Spanish commentary, and they had Chavez doing the shit.
He's amazing, bro.
It was amazing.
I didn't understand the word, but it was amazing.
¿Lo viste en Box Azteca, Julius?
No, it was the zone. I hit the Spanish.
Oh. Okay.
I just hit.
The zone's got Chavez on the Hispanic commentary.
All I know is I hit the Spanish one, and I was.
Chavez es el que he's saying always like, no, la verdad, por esta pelea está muy buena.
Chavez has got some strong opinions though. If you dig up the interviews with him and the translations and whatnot, he's got some strong opinions.
And I bet he's very animated about him too.
Yeah. Was it him or Marquez, or was it both of them that went in on Canelo?
Yo, bro, Ellie Sekbak asked like a 1 minute long question. It was translated for a full minute in Spanish, and Chavez said very happy. And then he just like waved him off, like get the fuck away from me, bro.
Get the fuck out.
Because
Chavez Senior's from that different. He's from a different reality. He's probably going, "What the hell's going on here? What is he? You know what I mean? Like he's in some Twilight Zone." That's how I feel a lot of times. It's like, like an episode of the Twilight Zone where you wake up in a different dimension and everything kind of looks the same, but you start to realize more and more. Like, wait a minute.
Bro, because
different.
The era that Chavez is from, right, is such a just stark contrast to what Ellie is from. Like, it's like, bro, what the
It's a
fuck?
different dimension. It's a different fucking dimension, Julius. He's
big time, man.
Like, yo, dude.
I feel Chavez Senior's pain. I feel his pain, man. I feel his pain.
Real crap, man.
Y'all know Ellie Sekbak's like fucking old as well.
Yeah, he's not a young guy. He's not a young guy. I don't know if he's in his late 30s or early 40s, but I know he's not a young guy.
I heard he was 43.
Well, he doesn't look it, so that's a plus.
Yeah, he does.
Maybe because he was always bald.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they give you a ball patch when you're 7 years old, it kind of fucking helps.
No, but that fucking Chavez.
Es que no me está dejando comer. Este canijo no me está dejando comer.
He talk, yo. That's why whenever
Hey Julio, what's your thoughts on Versace versus Givenchy?
Will dog,
No, de verdad. A ver, Julius, a little impression of Chavez Senior. Pero I need you to ask me a question in English about boxing.
So, Chavez, do you think that Canelo stands a chance?
Mira, la verdad, pues el que Canelo yo lo veo como entrenar muy bien, pero pues yo creo que le falta tantito, no hubiera sido rival para mí en mi época.
My man, Scott.
Hey, have you heard Juan Manuel Márquez speaking English? Juan Manuel Márquez speaking English. Have you heard him speaking English?
I think I heard him once.
I see that. I see a couple times where he's struggling to speak English because of
I think Pacquiao. I think Pacquiao lost the third fight. Yeah.
I love Pacquiao speaking English, bro. That's the funniest thing ever.
I won the fight. I won the next fight.
Oh shit. All right. Well, I'm gonna have to wrap this live up, gentlemen. It was a pleasure. Look forward to the next
it was
live.
fun.
I was good talking to a smart man.
I was a honor, guys. I was a honor.
Mark, you better stop that shit.
Yo, Julius, you gonna take the quiz, bro?
I'm gonna try to. I got some stuff. Like I was gonna take it, but I was working on some shit, and I'm still working.
Bro. There's many days you can pick any of them.
I'm gonna try to get it done, but you know, there's a lot of shit I'm trying to do. It's a lot of other people. I really want to get Chantel Cameron on here. I really want to get her on here. I want to get Zarina McCoy.
Yeah, Julius, you've been making a lot of interviews lately,
He's
man.
stuck in my 8-minute quiz, bro.
I'm not ducking the quiz. I'm dead serious. I got to try to get them on here. I want to do a live with them because I saw the IFL. I saw the IFL with Chantel, and I feel like they just making a hold on. I just feel like they keep badgering her with Katie fucking Taylor questions. Like, bro, she's in a dope ass division. Let's talk about her division instead of talking about Katie Taylor, because Katie not gonna fight her next, bro. She not. Like, I could tell you that right now. She ain't gonna fight her next.
I thought Katie's plan was to really move to 140.
All I know is this: the way it's looking, it looked like either Katie's gonna fight Gutierrez in the in between time to get her mandatory out the way, and then maybe Jessica will fight Cecilia again, or Katie will fight Jessica again. Those are the two likeliest scenarios. Chantel is not in that picture yet. She's just not. So let's talk about what's there for Chantel, so we could talk about what's there, what's really there, and what we need to pay attention to. Because there's some dope ass fights there. But every time they do a Chantel Cameron video, all they want to talk about is Katie Taylor. That shit is boring.
Hey, Julius, big ups on all your interviews with the lady boxers, though, man. You're kicking ass, dude. It's been
I
great.
appreciate that, man. I'm just trying to fucking round out the goddamn sport and stop because everybody keep making it about the same girls, Clarissa and Katie.
I'm waiting for the 2 interviews with Michaela Mayer and Latondria Jones because they are hot.
Well, Latondria
Oh
don't
my
even
God.
box. Latondria don't box no more, and
Oh,
Michaela's too big time for my little channel. I think she's not going to respond. If I'm being honest.
oh.
Hey, give it a shot.
Trying
You
to
got
get
nothing to
Julius
lose.
divorced over here. What do you do?
I'm being honest. I don't think she's gonna respond.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm not trying to be
Julius.
funny or anything. I'm not trying to be funny or anything, but you know what? More people have heard the name Natasha Jones than people have heard the name Michaela Mayer because Natasha Jones was an Olympian who did well.
yeah.
Hey, Julius, shoot for the brass ring, bro, man. Don't think that she won't. Just
No,
go for it.
I'm gonna reach out. I'm not that guy. I'm not a wallflower. I'm gonna reach out. I'm just telling you that I don't think she's gonna come on.
I was so disappointed. I almost got an interview with a megastar and it fell through, fam.
What happened? Who?
I was telling you, like I was trying to get the person on for last week. Remember, I sent you the message about it.
I can't remember who the person was, Mark. I'm fucking old.
Oye, Julius, ¿es cierto que Bruce Wayne no quiso debatir contigo?
Yeah, I mean, not to rehatch that, but to make a long story short, what was it? I think he said somebody was shooting sublims at him or something like that.
Okay.
And I think what I said was that, like, yo, we could discuss it live. Like, it ain't even got to be hostile or nothing like that. So it was some bullshit like that. And I was like, man, and he just started going on some other shit. I'm like, all right, internet person. Be an internet person, bro.
Oye, ¿cómo se llama el chaparrito este que se parece a Gary Russell? Que dices que tiene el Shortman Syndrome, que también es de la New Media.
Oh, what, H Money?
Maybe.
Oh my God.
yeah, like that's my shit. Like, see now that I'm trying to get fighters on here, right, and have like real discussions about real things that are relevant to the sport. I cannot waste time on internet people. Like I can't waste time on that goofy shit. Like that shit looks stupid on me that I'm even arguing with. Like I'm not. Yeah, like fuck that, though. Like on some real shit.
Yeah, like going bar for bar with a guy over Kazuto Yoka and Kosei Tanaka.
Well,
Shut the fuck
Julius said
up,
you're going to
Mark.
be interviewing Charlie Zelenoff.
You're really smart,
I'd
though.
love-
Why would I shut up?
I'd love a streaming, not a debate, pero me gustaría un streaming donde platiquen tú y Romy's Corner.
Oh, I like Rummy's Corner. I do like Rummy's Corner. And shout out to Rummy for being able to be around as long as he has and just not getting sucked into the bullshit. Cause he doesn't get sucked into the bullshit at all. At all. Nobody comes at Rummy. Rummy don't come at nobody. Rummy talks about boxing and he's got more subscribers than anybody. And shout out to Rummy.
Yeah, one of the best boxing channels out there.
Real shit, but it's a lot of people that I really want to talk to, and I want to dedicate time to that to just get a schedule normalized. And I need to get my sea legs for interviews because when I had Natasha on here, I was like legit fanboying, like I was mad giddy because I was like, "Yo, it's Natasha Jonas, man." You know, so
Which
I gotta
is why he's got to duck your quiz mark. So.
I'll try to get Hannah Gabriel's. I'll try. It's a lot of
that statement.
What happened?
What?
Man, ain't nobody ducking nothing, dog. I'm working. Right? I'm working. Like you can see I'm fucking working. I got a lot of people.
Hey, bro, all I'm saying it's 8 minutes any day.
All right.
There's no way it.
All right, gentlemen. Always a pleasure. Gotta go to bed.
All right, good
See you
night.
later.
Yeah,
Have a good night, guys.
Tanaka.
See you later,
Julius
Cocodrilo.
is smart.